Hey now. Good morning, everyone. What a day. What a few days it's been. What a week it's been. Okay, so I'm live streaming on Twitch, but I had a decision to make because I wanted to ultimately make a YouTube video about everything that's going on with Ashes of Creation. But if I just made a YouTube video, I don't know if the emotional impact would be there or not, because live streaming is where I feel I can give more of an emotional impact to things, as opposed to worrying about where are all the edits going to come from and am I going to create a script and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to live stream. What I'll do probably is take a copy of the live stream and then edit it and then put it up to YouTube, something like that. People have already made videos about this, and and a lot of it is just a direct cover of what initially happened here. I'll be doing a little bit of that, but I'm also going to be adding in my own experience and wisdom, experience, and the fact that I'm not just a YouTube commentator looking for the next thing to make a video on, because I was involved with this game. I do know the two leads over there, to some degree, at least. And the AOCs, and I'll be reading chat occasionally too. And Sloppy says, the drama that is the gift that keeps on giving. And the thing is, we already had drama with the lead CEO rage quitting the company. We thought, well, that's kind of it, right? I mean, what else is there to talk about? What occurred after that is astonishing. One of the quote-unquote investors was so upset over the whole thing that he decided to contact, well, I don't know which way it went. Either he contacted Nephis, or let me give you a shout out to Nephis QS. This is his YouTube channel. Either the guy contacted him or he contacted the other guy, one or the other, and he completely spilled the beans on everything going back to like about 2015. All the text messages between him and Steven Sharif from Intrepid Studios. And like, I don't want to go over every single line of text. It's scattered. There's some, the sequence, which is most important to me, is the sequence, the dates. When did this happen? And when did this happen? So I don't want to get too mired in the details. I'm trying to paint a picture here. I want to paint a picture of a mental picture of what goes on inside of the mind of someone who is a scam artist and who is able. This is a story about. This is a cautionary tale for people to make sure you don't get scammed for a lot of money in the future. These people have a mental philosophy and a mental connection in their brain where they are able to separate being able to take people for anything, and they're able to put that into a separate compartment and justify and when things go bad, they are able to mentally blame everyone else for it instead of themselves. And that is another case that we have here. So shout out to Nephis. He's the one that put out most of this information. They're sociopaths. I don't know how to, narcissists, sociopaths, they are able to completely emotionally separate themselves This is the guy who did most of the stuff, although I do have, before we get into that, I do have more information at the end that came from a lawyer that looked at some of the lawsuits. There are already lawsuits being filed, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be tough to get money from someone that maybe doesn't have money or has already hidden it somewhere else. We don't know. But this is also this one story from one person. I want to make sure it's understood. If you look at the total investment by everyone, this is one story. One story that someone was able to, or willing to come out and talk to someone outside of court and give him all this information. One of my first questions I asked when I saw that was, how many more stories are there? And I'll say this again as we go over this. All these text exchanges between Steven and this guy Jason, that's just one story. Who else was he doing the same thing to try to get money in? Who else was he buttering up? Who else was he making promises to about how the game was going to deliver? Now, the statement I have in front of me here first is from, and anyone on Twitch, if you think I'm ignoring you, it's just I'm just trying to stay focused on the issue at hand here, so I can get this up to YouTube in somewhat of a straighter format. So this is something that Steven Sharif said back 4 years ago. This is in 2022. I think as a player, there are two main aspects of Ashes that has some people excited. First, what we are making, basically risk versus reward. Not everyone's a winner. A world that develops around the player. No pay to win. No quality of life items. Massive open world and emphasis on social community-driven systems. Okay, fine. Second, who we are. We aren't governed by greedy corporate overlords. I'm funding the project, so no investors or a board to answer to. No publishers to appease. We speak with you, our community, and we listen to feedback and value respect players. Now, the problem here is not that I'm funding the project per se. It's no investors or a board. The key is no investors. So in 2022, he says there is no investors. We find out that that is a complete lie. So his statements are, I'm funding the game myself, and the community is helping to fund the game through the Kickstarter and through selling packages and whatever else. We come to find out that he's talking to everyone this way. Behind the scenes, he is extracting money from anyone who he can extract money from. Keep in mind, guys, in 2018, and I already put that video up, I took a copy of it and put it up edited. In 2018, I covered this game. I covered, there were 2 articles written about this, and I didn't know much about it at the time. I covered the fact that this is basically an MLM scheme that he's trying to do with his referral program and things like that. That was 2018, going over articles already written in 2017. Every time anyone ever called this guy out on anything, he would have this calm, measured response about how great things are going, and we are going to make this amazing game, and this is how this game is going to work. And he never talked about having any financial problems. He always stated, this game is fully funded. And it says right here, I'm funding the project. Now, normally you could say, well, okay, so you're funding the project, but whose money are you using Well, he clarified that here, no investors. So he is trying to say that he is funding the project himself, okay? So just want to lay this out here as to what's going on with this. Okay, so again, got a shout out to the YouTube channel here for Nephis QS. He kind of blew the door open on this, even though this scandal already started earlier, but we didn't really have any evidence. Evidence now is presented to him from someone named Jason, and we'll talk about Jason in a minute. But this is the video that kind of like, it just took everyone by storm and shock. There was just shock about what was going on here when we found out some real concrete evidence. Here are the accusations made by, and these screenshots are all coming from the video that Nephis QS put up. I've got some other screenshots from another video from a lawyer at the end. Like I said, a lot of the stuff is out of sequence with dates, and all I care about are dates. When things happened, and what kind of sequence is there, and it's not that easy. Hey now. And it's not that easy to I want to get the timeline down, but it won't be that easy to do it. So like I said, trying to paint a big picture here of how a scam artist operates, and that he fooled almost everyone. Okay. Here's the accusations. I think this is coming from Jason. Steven has been lying from the start. Steven never put his own money into the company. Let's read that again. Steven never put his own money into the company, even though that's what he said all along. From the beginning, I'm financing this myself. And in my video in 2018, he kept saying, we're only using Kickstarter as a way to reach out to the community, to get our name out there. It wasn't about the money. Remember, he said that. Well, what do you think Kickstarter is? It's about raising money for your game. Maybe there's a little bit of marketing in there. Now, he also claims investors were scammed. Well, if you see the text messages that Jason gave to Nephis, definitely investors were scammed. Now, so we have that. Let me show you the spreadsheet. Again, guys, I'm trying to keep this on as high as levels process for now, without digging into the details. Nephis reads every single text, if you want to see that. I'm trying to really paint a picture here. Investors were also scammed. Now, here is something interesting that apparently Jason provided for Nephis, and it's a spreadsheet with the loan amounts. Now, this comes with dates also, which is another thing I'm interested in. So here's someone named Thomas Alcazin. This looks like the earliest money, $2 million right here. And here's this Jason. So Jason is the one that is the big focus here, because he's the one that contacted Nephis and gave him all the information. So here's all his donations. I wanted to see when the earliest one was, and according to this, it's February of 2017 for $2 million. Now, there's also some other institutions here, which I think were set up by some of these same people, like this Yaya Legacy Trust and Intrepid Creations. I think these were kind of set up by other people and used as a trust in order to donate more money or to loan more money. Look at Intrepid Creations, $8 million down here, so 2020. So this is kind of a story of 2017 Kickstarter and all the way through 2019, where Steven is desperate for money. And then after that is when all these other investors start giving him more and more money. It kind of blew the door open. And I think a lead to a lot of those investors came through Jason. Most of these people are all related to each other through the business that they do, which is multi-level marketing. Okay? So here's this, and then there's a it's kind of a summary on the spreadsheet. Now they've got a total of 99 million, and apparently this is not a complete spreadsheet. It's a lot more than $99 million has been loaned and given to them, with none of the money, none of it coming from Steven himself. Okay. 59 million from Robert D. Dawson. And I believe this is another person who is associated with the Jason guy. So we have people that are like one leading into the other. So we want to make sure to remember these, like at least the initial dates. So 2017, 2 million. And it's hard, I'm trying to match things up with the text. It's kind of weird. I don't know exactly when certain things happened. So it's going to be, and some of the text that Nefis put out was a little bit out of order on date. So I want to try to keep somewhat of a sequence here. But this is insane. This is just insane to have that kind of money. You're talking probably $120 million plus. And the current state of the game after it went to Steam is something where you have to scratch your head and wonder where all the money went. And because they just didn't get really much of anything out there to play. So this basically, we have here a someone who comes from MLM who wanted to take gaming and implement an MLM strategy into the game. And also to enrich himself during the process. Now, I don't know if there was, maybe there was an intent to eventually come out with a good game for everyone to play, etc., etc. But if you look at what he was promising, what was going to be in the game, technically, no one else truly is able to technically accomplish some of the things that he was promising that this game would do. And I think a lot of those promises of what the game was to do is to drum up support so that people would give him more money. The question is, well, was it a complete scam? Was he never planning to make a game? No, I don't think so. I think the plan was to make a game. I mean, they hired people and all that kind of stuff. But this is a guy who never made a video game in his life. And again, in 2018, when I covered it, his only experience is in playing video games. That was his resume. To make a game like this was the fact that he played video games before. So it's a story of getting over your head, and then a story of scamming a bunch of people in order to get money. And also skimming, it looks like he skimmed that money in order to, like what you do in MLM, and I covered that, fake it till you make it, purchasing a mansion, streaming from the mansion to make everyone think, look, I'm rich and successful. Of course, if you're going to invest with me, you're coming along for the ride on this great team we have here, right? And that referral program was a part of that as well, directly with MLM. Now let's look at the players here. Of course, like I said, Jason is the one. Jason is the one that this is really a focus on. But this Dawson guy is of interest too because he put so much money in. So, who is Jason and who is Robert Dawson? Thank you, Grok. Jason Caramanis is a businessman and investor, best known in recent years for his high-profile involvement with Ashes of Creation. He is a successful figure in multi-level marketing, particularly associated with Jeunesse Global, a Florida-based company selling anti-aging skincare and supplements. where he achieved a top rank of Imperial Diamond Director. Wow, with these titles. He has been involved with several other MLM companies over the years, such as Zija and others, and has described himself as operating at the top of the pyramids in interviews. He has a history of private deals with other networkers and distributors, some of which led to lawsuits, both of which he was named and also he filed related to breach of contract, alleged pyramid scheme activities, though he was not found liable in major cases mentioned in public records. And of course, in 2026, he gained significant attention in the gaming community after publicly accusing Steven Sharif of orchestrating a massive fraud related to Ashes of Creation. In a widely discussed interview with Nefes, he accused and lost $12.5 million. He claims Sharif misled investors, publicly stating he had invested $30 to $60 million of his own funds, when Jason says that no, he didn't invest anything. The project raised closer to $140 million, including Kickstarter, private investment, loans, commerce-backed funds, packages that he was selling, cosmetics he was selling over the years. Can you imagine selling cosmetics for a game that is under development? It's crazy. Other investors included Robert Dawson, $80 million, Tom Alkazin, $2 million, which is described as his life savings. Tom apparently was the first investor based on the spreadsheet. And many investors had ties to MLM. These are allegations from civil disputes with no criminal charges filed as of now. That's changing. Okay. Now, this guy, Jason, born in 1968, and linked to California addresses in legal documents, international company involvement, resigned directorship in a now dissolved UK Northern Ireland company. In short, primarily an MLM entrepreneur, turned major investor in long-troubled Ashes of Creation. Now, just to give you a little bit of analysis here, like on this Jeunesse Global skincare stuff. There's actually a storefront on Amazon with the products, some of the products here from this company. And of course, as you know, when it comes to MLM, it's a pyramid scheme, but it becomes a legal pyramid scheme when you actually have a product or service tied to it. So when you sign up people, you're signing them up as distributors. They have to pay a fee in order to sign up. That fee is what continues to get pushed up the pyramid. So if you are a distributor, you push in money, a fee. Then you go get other people to sign up. They push in their fees. You get a tiny bit because you want to start building your business. And then more just kicks up through percentages, up, and up to the top, which would get the most percentage of these fees that are paid. But if you're a distributor and you can sign up someone and then they sign up someone else, you start to make money too. One more thing about this Jason guy. He was in a phone interview and with Nefes, and he admitted, he said, yes, I know I made my money in MLM. And then he said, and I get it that people have shady thoughts about MLM, but I made a lot of other people millionaires. That's what he said. I made a lot of other people millionaires. Well, where did the money come from to make other people millionaires? Where? Not through product sales. You made it so there's a whole bunch of people at the lower end who you made promises to that they could get rich. They signed up as distributors. They put in their money. So you made people millionaires off the backs of other people that you made promises to that they would become rich. They could become rich. So being proud to make people millionaires in MLM is not something to be proud of, because you ripped off other people that may have been down on their luck and thought, hey, let me come to your seminar. And I come to your seminar and there's all these expensive cars in the parking lot. And you put on this show about how much money you could make by becoming a distributor here. 95% of these people will never make a penny. The money trickles up to the top. So by you saying you made other people millionaires, someone had to lose in this equation. A whole bunch of people lost in this equation. We have a case here of, this is there's so much irony here. You have a scammer in Sharif who basically scammed other scammers. Now, I don't want to be too tough on Jason, because he took it on his own to publicly go out there and give information to us. He didn't have to do this. He could have held on and just gone through the legal process. He shed light by putting everything out there, so I got to give him credit for that. Most of the people that gave money to this project all made their money through MLM. And a lot of people get hurt by being involved in MLM. So who are you going to actually feel sorry for here? Who? When you see the text messages that come out while Steven is scamming Jason, you start to feel sorry for Jason. But how much so? Because he made his money off the backs of a lot of other people that got hurt as well. Just remember that. Now, this Jeunesse Global, I looked at some of their products. I'm pretty good at analyzing ingredients that are in skincare products. I'm pretty good at that. There's nothing special in these products. The two main ingredients, well, there's four main ingredients. There is a very weak form of vitamin A and vitamin C. They're palmitates. They don't break down quick. That's why they put them in skincare products. But their benefits for you are very negligible. There's no proof that they do anything. There's two more elements in there. One is sodium hydronate. And it's basically what it does is it draws water. So it plumps up the skin. So you put on a product that has sodium hydronate, and it temporarily plumps up the skin. Okay? So you don't get therapeutic benefits from that. It acts as a moisturizer. Okay? The only other ingredient here is arginine, which is theoretically supposed to act like Botox, when in fact, if you're in this one product, just one tubes costs $65. You could put this stuff on for 5 years, and I'll guarantee you it's not going to do anything for you. You're better off going and getting Botox than using this product. This product is a complete waste of money based on my analysis of the ingredients in it. There is nothing special in here. It's all bullcrap. It's all selling you something. You're better off going to a professional dermatologist or place that does Botox and injections, whether it be Botox or Juvederm or whatever it is. This is a complete product that is worthless. This is a worthless product that they're selling as part of that MLM. Just remember that too. No, it's well, guys, and remember, anyone in chat, I'm not here to interact with chat per se. unless you say something interesting. I'm here to, and thanks for coming in. I'm trying to make a YouTube video here, but I'm streaming at the same time. Thank you guys for being here. It's easier for me to do this while I'm streaming, because I know there's at least a few people here watching. So thank you for being here. So that's Jason. That's Jason. Okay? There's Steven Sharif, everyone knows about him. He made his money in MLM. His mom made money in MLM. And then he started playing a video game called Arcade or something like that. And he got totally involved in it. And then at some point he decided, let me try to take all my experience in playing a video game and in MLM, and let me make a game and see what I can do. So 2015, he co-founded Intrepid Studios. Now, of course, we know he was in MLM and selling, miracle juices and all this kind of stuff, which, why would they, you have multi-billion-dollar companies that if there was a cure by creating a juice, those companies would have invented it already. Why, a company called Zango selling some juice. Like, if it was really that good, some other multi-billion-dollar company would have already discovered it, marketed it, and sold it. So again, probably another worthless product, which you can just get your vitamins from having a good, healthy diet. So we covered skincare. The product that they're pushing in their MLM, this Jason guy, this product is worthless. Based on my analysis of the ingredients in the product, it's worthless. But in order to run an MLM, you need a product. Same thing with the Zango crap with Steven. So we know about him. Most people know about him. Okay. I did a search on Intrepid Creations, but it turns out Intrepid Creations was kind of a company created by some of these investors in order to give money. Okay. I thought it was an actual real company. There is an Intrepid Creations that was created back in 2005. Now, Robert Dawson. Who's the biggest investor of Ashes? Apparently it's this Robert Dawson guy. If you look at the spreadsheets, which I already showed. And again, we may have to come back to that because we got to look at the dates. We're going to paint a picture here of him scamming a friend, per se, in MLM during 2018, 2019. Then after that, the money flooded in from 2020 up to 2026 or whatever, 2025. The money flooded in from people like Robert Dawson. So I think this is your biggest investor right here. Who is Robert Dawson? Is a wealthy private investor featured in the ongoing controversy surrounding Intrepid Studios, and the MMO Ashes of Creation. According to allegations made by Jason in a high-profile YouTube from Nephis, which is what we're covering today, Dawson is described as the single largest financial backer of the project. Key claims include Dawson invested $80 million of his own capital into Intrepid Studios. Jason is the one who introduced Dawson to Sharif, okay? Reportedly introduced Dawson several years ago during a meeting in Las Vegas. These funds were injected into a project that was already struggling financially, with no significant returns or progress towards a viable product. Dawson reportedly reached a breaking point after continued operational losses and lack of results. Okay, here's when everything breaks down in 2026. He proposed a major restructuring plan, which included laying off staff up to 70%, securing new funding, implementing a results-based earn-out structure for Sharif, shifting him to a creative director role with performance incentives, and redistributing equity primarily among investors, while excluding Sharif, whom Jason alleges never invested his own money. Okay, you see, finally someone came in and said, let's try to make this a real company now that you've done all this. We got to salvage. So when Sharif allegedly refused these terms, negotiations broke down. Sharif resigned, mass layoffs ensued, and basically the studio shut down. And why would Sharif refuse these terms when he basically sold the entire company to other people? So he wanted all the money, and just give me all your money. I'll promise you a return later, but I'm going to run the company the way I want to. Well, so even up till the end, and I don't know how much money was left in their accounts, they couldn't even pay employees. So this is when it all broke. And it's the Dawson who finally stepped in and said, we have to do something about this. And Steven's like, that's it, I'm out. The grift is over finally. And I'm going to find someone to blame. And I'm going to blame you people that loaned me all the money. I'm going to blame you for everything now. It's not me, it's you. Dawson is now said to control the IP rights of Ashes of Creation through foreclosure processes, secured creditor status, or related mechanisms. Guys, this is Grok. Even Google AI, we don't know how accurate this information is because the real world on this is going to change every day. Okay, and so I introduced you guys to some of the players here who we're talking about and what their background is. And basically, you're talking about, the scammer scammed the scammers. But you almost start to feel sorry for the scammers because they got taken in so dramatically and thoroughly by Steven Sharif. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly. These are all claims backed up by supposed text exchanges over the years. How did it all start? Jason, who we just talked about, meets Steven via his mother. And I call her the queen of MLM. Okay? Heavily involved in MLM. And again, these dates, some of the stuff that Nephis put out on his video, I clipped every text exchange I clipped. But some of the dates are out of order. Because it's like, have you ever done that before? You kind of move forward, then come back. Move forward, then come back. So I'm looking like I'm really concerned about timelines. Some of the stuff, some of the times and dates are a little bit weird, but again, trying to paint a big picture here. And I want to make sure it's understood, like why am I doing this? When we have this video from Nephis, we have all these other people covering this. And that's a good question. But I think there are many takes. And there are a lot of people who had no involvement with any of this ever in any way, shape, or form that are making videos and they just don't really understand anything. They're just repeating what has already been said. And I'm trying to not do that as much here. And I'm also taking my own life lessons, my own experiences, which you've already seen here, talking about these MLMs and the products that they create. In my experience with MLMs going back to the 1980s, where if you weren't approached by other people trying to get you involved in the 1980s, you weren't here. You didn't exist. So 2015, and it's interesting. Jason's got a lot of money, and he's looking for action. He's always looking for action. So he meets Steven's mom, and mom tells Jason what a genius her son is. Her son is a genius, okay? And, you would be wise. You would be wise to, maybe cozy up with him. He's a guy you want to hang around with and be involved with. Here we are in the MLM community. We want you to cozy up to the Finkelstein kid, I don't know if you know that reference. But we go back to 2015 and even 2014. Yep. Avon, Tupperware. And if there was, the MLM started with a company even going back into the 1940s and 50s. There was the Fuller Brush Salesman. There was another company, I forgot the name. They were doing the same structure. But they took this to a science. Herbalife was the biggest one in the 80s. Herbalife. Mark something was his name who started it. He died at a young age, even though he was selling all these health products. And the company actually went public, and as far as I know, the company is still a public company, a publicly traded company. And you used to see bumper stickers on people's cars in the 1980s. And the bumper sticker would say, "Lose weight now, ask me how." That was Herbalife. And so they're selling all these crappy products, protein powders, drinks, vitamins, and it was all like to get you to sign up as a distributor. And the same MLM thing. Absolutely. So, okay, so 2015. Jason walks right into the trap. Because, he's like, well, I have money, but I want more. He walks right into the trap. I met your mom. She says you're great. Maybe we could do business together. He's walking right into the trap. You're awesome, Steve. I want to introduce you to some friends of mine that might want to invest or raise money for your online gaming play. Right there, you could see how little gaming knowledge Jason has to call it online gaming play. What's funny is in 2015, Steven says, I don't know if I want investors. I've got $3 million of my own in the venture, which apparently he doesn't. The first investment comes from someone named Tom or something with $2 million. Look, August 2015, Thomas Alcazan, $2 million. 2015. According to this spreadsheet, Jason doesn't give his first money until February of 2017. But I don't see the text matching up to it. But he gives money pretty early, his first $2 million. Okay, but so in August he's already got $2 million in August of 2015 from this other guy. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Online gaming play. So what does that tell you? If he's already got money from someone else, and this spreadsheet is coming from Jason, this spreadsheet is not complete. This is not a complete spreadsheet. It tells me, possibly, that Steven is has text exchanges. And here's the key thing I really want to mention today. Because like I said, this is one story. This is one story you're seeing. It is possible that Steven is doing this with countless other people. These text exchanges you're going to see between him and Jason might be replicated between him and many, many other people that we don't know about because they haven't come forward. It is quite possible that for a period of 6 years, Steven Sharif spent possibly 80% of his time buttering up other people to get them to give money for this game that's going to be bigger than World of Warcraft, according to him. I want to stress that. This is just one story. There are probably many other stories. Also, a part of this story, keep a reminder. We don't know. We don't know how much money Steven skimmed off for these loans. Because there was no... The accounting, all the counting statements, there's no record of anything, per se, within the company. Apparently someone stated on Reddit that just his salary alone, he was paying himself $600,000 a year. And I believe his spouse was either the CFO or COO or something like that, hiding everything, possibly. Again, these are all allegations until proven in court, guys. Yeah, there's some legal stuff here on you invest and then you can convert it to equity later and stuff like that, kind of thing. But I don't want to get too mired in that. The accountants will be able to discuss that further. Okay, we're going to take our first break today, and then we're going to start going over some of these texts to show you how a scam artist operates, and how he really uses at least one person for a period of time in order to cover a bunch of expenses. So we're going to go over that, keeping in mind that this is just one story. And there's probably many other stories people have to tell about how they were taken by this guy in order to fund this project, where he said that the project is fully funded. Okay, some herbal tea, some Herbalife. He said the game is fully funded by my own money, and I'm only using Kickstarter as a way to market, as a way to reach out to the community of gamers so I can let them know about this game. So, according to the public face of Steven, none of this ever happened. We are finding out about these loans and what he did now, but nobody knew about this. He basically said this: I am a multimillionaire. I am going to fund this passion project on my own. I am going to do Kickstarter. I'm going to sell packages of access because we need to keep the servers running and keep the lights on, even though I said I'm funding the project myself. Okay? So the public face we were getting was that. That's what we were getting. And he promised if the game never launched, he would refund all the money. He said, I have reserve for that. These were all lies. These were all lies. We really didn't know anything until this revelation came out just last week. By him, this Jason guy contacting Nephis. Now remember, again, this is just one story. I keep talking about that. Who else? How many other people did he do this to? And it's not just 80 million. It's not just, it could be 120, it could be 140, it could be more. There's no record of. No record of. Let me take a break and then we'll start with the text messages. I'll try to go through this. Try to skip the nonsense. Try to keep it somewhat in a timeline. And and then I've got more stuff at the end that a lawyer created a video on YouTube to go over some of the lawsuits that are actually taking place right now. Okay? Okay? I'll be back in a minute. No, there's plenty to look at. Okay, so for anyone on YouTube, I think the best thing to do is I'm just going to load this over after today's stream, and then I'll just put chapters in for YouTube. That way I don't have to copy it, make edits and stuff like that. Okay, we've gone over the background. We've covered the people, the players. We've looked at their backgrounds. We're kind of painting a picture here now. Okay, so we're still back in 2015. Jason's interested in this project Steven's working on because Jason's mom says, my son is a genius. And all these people are made their money in MLM. Jason has plenty of money. He has apparently a Ferrari, a Rolls Royce. And so he's doing very well. But of course, you know how that is. When you have money, you always want more. Right here, 2015, and he hasn't invested any money yet. Jason. Steven, I'm positive it's a $1 billion company. Jason, I know that. Why do you think I'm so jacked up on it? So, I don't know if Steven's intent in 2015, this early, was to start asking Jason for money. I don't know if he had that intent yet. I have a feeling Steven was already buttering up other people even at this point. Just have a feeling. Okay, again, I showed this earlier. This is the spreadsheet. I showed this earlier. He already got $2 million in 2015. That's probably why he's feeling pretty good. Here's this Jason. His first investment wasn't until February of 2017, maybe, somewhere in there. I don't know how accurate these dates are. But the big depletion of Jason's money took place all the way up and through 2019. Apparently, after 2020 is when he really started to get money from other people that Jason knew. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Here's some of the totals. Again, Robert Dawson put in $59 million at least through this. Intrepid Creations is, I think, a company created by these people, a trust. Same with Yaya Legacy. Jason's in for many millions. And there's other people too, including someone named Karen. Total investments were at least $115. It could be much, much more. Dawson was investing because he is an MLM and friends with Jason. Dawson and his friends and companies put in about $90 million total over the years. We also have accusations that Steven skimmed money for himself from all these loans. Now keep in mind, a lot of money wasted. Used to buy his mansion, for example. Keep in mind, apparently, what you're going to find out also is that Steven took loans from people and then reported that as income. That's another accusation. Taking a loan and reporting it as income, or a portion of it as income, in order to get more loans. That's not legal, I don't think. That's a real accounting. That is a irregularity. Some of this was chopped off. Again, this is coming from Neffa's video. I clipped everything as best I could. It's not chopped off because of me. Steven and his husband, John, stole money out of the company and paid themselves, I think it's probably $600,000 a year in salaries, paid for their San Diego house when they purchased it with investors' money. After John took out deposit San Diego home. All I can say about Steven and John is they are both insane, pathological narcissists. These are accusations from Jason that convince people and that they were like, rich with mega mansions in the bank and had not put one penny into the company. I think what he's trying to say, so this stuff about him putting money into the company is not true. He also took loans out from these people to pay off other people. I think he took money from Jason and paid off his mom. Briefly going over some of the stuff. So here we're in 2016. For me, it's the dates. Just want to look at these dates. I don't think Jason gave any money yet. So he's saying the next $1 billion company. He's giving him sneak peek stuff. This in 2016. I think these are probably a lot of vaporware videos. Vaporware videos where you can go and hire another company to make videos for you. Like the whole node system video. There's this node system video. And then people walking around these towns that have been built. It's all fake. It's all fake video. That's vaporware in order to drum up interest in the project. 2016 is around when they were doing this kind of stuff. So he's trying to show off this thing. We have 24,000 members and haven't even announced the title or entered alpha testing. He's talking to Jason. And then he's saying, look, we're going to have 15-month subscription to play. We will launch with over 2 million players. I don't think so. And I think at one point, he even talks about how this is going to be launched with 6 million players, or ultimately get 6 million players to pay $15 a month. 2016, late 16. What do you think? My mom says 2016. My mom says get investors. I think I should just fund it myself at about 8 million, then pre-sell packages through Kickstarter to raise additional capital development. Talk. Now, this thing came in 2014, this exchange here. But then the thing shows it's in 2015, so I don't know which exactly it is. I don't understand this. So 2015, Jason's already saying, where do you want me to send the 150,000? So I don't know. Maybe Jason's already investing some money in. This is kind of a weird exchange here. Now, Nefis showed another clip that jumps into 2019, and I don't want to go into 2019 yet. But the clip is really trying to tell him how great this game is, how much money the game is going to make, how great it is, visits to our website, and the fact that they're working on this apocalypse mode. So they switch from MMO into MOBA. Not MOBA, Battle Royale. Because Steven saw how well Fortnite was doing. And he wanted to pivot into this, which was crazy. The community just couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. We're going to be moving into the new studio. Again, this is 2019. Coming back now, 2017. Kickstarter. So Kickstarter, we're looking at May of 17. Our first 5-day of sales of the game is the most successful of any MMO game in history. Now, I think what he did was he would go to like some of the gaming conferences, and he would show the vaporware videos and have a panel or whatever, buy some space, and introduce the game to everyone, and then go to Kickstarter. And then again right here, May of 17. We will be the next World of Warcraft. These are texts between Steven and Jason. Remember, this is just one story that we're covering. There may be many more. 2017. By the way, when your attorney said in his email, blah, 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 better investments like real estate, I hope he's not giving you bad advice. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you, Miss Vegas, just thought I'd update you on recent development. MMORPG is rating our game the highest. Well, how could they do that when there's no game to play? How could MMORPG rate your game high when there's no game to play? Giving it a 9.2 out of 10 makes no sense. Just equate to the World of Warcraft, which only got 8.8 and is a $16 billion game. Why he's telling Jason this stuff, I don't know if Jason already gave him $2 million at this point or not, but he's keeping the butter rolling through these text messages. Again, who else is he sending these messages to? Who? Then we come all the way to 2019. We're going to skip this because this is when things really start going bad. Again, I'm just screen printing from the Nephis video. And again, I say here, if Steven was texting all this to Jason to get money, he must have been doing the same thing with everyone else, but we don't have that information. 2017, Kickstarter, texting to Jason. We just launched our first day of sales. We're at 340,000 in sales in 1 hour so far. You can watch our 1 month sales live, and you could look at the Kickstarter. So he's showing Jason the Kickstarter stuff. I have a feeling Jason had already given him money at this point. 2017 February. Mention coming down, I'm in San Francisco. I'm going to be at the Game Developers Conference. I will be meeting with Epic Electronic Arts, Tencent, and NCSoft. It's the biggest conference of its kind and has all the executives there from major gaming companies. I've been invited to speak for 15 minutes and lectures on Wednesday. Now, according to Nephis researched this, and there's no record of him being there as a speaker. And I don't think there's any record or there's any proof that he actually met with Epic Electronic Arts, Tencent, and NCSoft. I don't think there's any record of that. Or after is fine, but would like to execute the convertible note. Before March 1st, let me know your thoughts. Understood and agree. So I think Jason already made an investment, and Steven's letting him know how great things are going. And so Jason's feeling pretty good still around this time. 2017, Jason's feeling good. February 2018. Sorry I haven't texted you or called you. We're doing amazing. Just finished 2017 report. We'll be sending that to you on Monday. What address? It's a 20-page report that includes 2017 accounting and projections. We will do over 35 million this year. We did 6 million in 2017. Right now, Tencent and Mail.ru are pushing for a licensing agreement. They are both giant multi-million-dollar companies. We need to get together. This sounds like a complete fabrication to me. February 2018. Tencent and Mail.ru are pushing for a license agreement. No proof, and it never happened. The 6 million last year was done in 4.5 months of sales. There's a lot of info to report. Send me your address. We're still in 2018, February. Got pretty exciting news. We will likely be signing a licensing deal with a company called Tencent. No. I go to China end of next month and sign and do a photo op event. Don't tell anyone. 22 million in exchange for 75% of the Chinese market and rights to publish and purchase cosmetics approval for the studios. They will handle all localization and server maintenance costs. Jason replies, wow, amazing. There may or may not have been some kind of meeting with a company over there. I don't think it was Tencent. You'll find out later it was someone else. And the deal basically fell through. But, you know, this right here, 22 million in exchange for 75% Chinese market of the Chinese market. It sounds like it's a done deal. With approval from the studios, it sounds like it's a done deal. Jason's like, oh my God, I'm going to be so rich. This is so good. We're now in March of 2018. Time frames are the most important to me on this whole thing because it gets confusing. Hey, bro, I know you're not feeling well, so I'll just give you the important info. Tencent will be closing our deal terms within the next couple of weeks before the Game Developers Conference. They are pushing very hard for equity, but we don't need it, and their valuation likely be around $150 to $200 million. Tencent will be closing our deal terms. That sounds pretty absolute, doesn't it? And then he's telling, so we know Jason invested already, because he's giving advice to Jason on when he should, like, you know, sell his convertibles or something like that in order to get money back. And I think Steven is saying, you know, well, we have to report that as a part of our deal with Tencent. So if they contact you, you know, I don't think it's a good idea for you to sell right now. You'll be worth a lot more in 2019. So I think that's what's going on here. But there's no record of any deal with Tencent. He says Tencent will be closing our deal. That sounds pretty absolute to me. Pretty absolute. I think it's just a bunch of horse crap. It's all a bunch of horse crap. And Jason's sick. So, again, 2018, March. And Jason's like, look, you know, do whatever you want. I put my trust in you. You make the decision on what we should do. Because Jason's getting this information about all these deals that are going to be closing. All the money that's going to be coming in. Steven's like, in my opinion, if you execute the option, wait for 2020 or late 19, you can get anywhere from 3 times, 7 times that amount. So he's telling him, don't try to convert your options or whatever it is. However, I would prefer you not to sell to Tencent. But it is obviously a decision for you. We will be launching Ashes of Creation with 2 million players. We have over 500,000 now. That's around 40 million a month in subscriptions. And that is just Ashes. The other titles will be huge also. This is a new dynasty company, which is why Tencent and Mail.ru are coming hard at us. No! This is all scam, Nachi. We will be launching with 2 million. That's 40 million a month in subscriptions. And that's just Ashes. The other titles... What other titles are you talking about? This is a new dynasty company. This is Steven to Jason, who's already given money. March of 2018. March of 18. Also, our personnel is attractive to them. Creative director from Sony, art director from Disney, and engineers from Amazon. The butter just keeps getting laid out here. 2018 still. Sounds good. Hey, bro, I looked into dilution concerns. It basically comes down to whether or not you trust that. It will be devaluing the company shares, which I will not be doing. There are several anti-dilution clauses, as well as owning preferred shares. This is, I think, kind of like if you give money and then you give more money, like there needs to be rules that they can't keep diluting you. At the moment, the convertible states common share conversion. I have no issue with amending to that to preferred shares if you choose to convert 2 million into equity, which obviously you would come December for the payout. I'm okay with that, bro. Send that to somebody. I think Jason has his own lawyer. He has lawyers and other investors he's trying to get involved. So some of the stuff when he says send to, do this, it's either to the lawyer or to one of the other investors. Not feeling well. Basically only me, you, John, and your mom and Tom are shareholders now, besides equity-based employee deals. Correct. Okay, April. We're now in April of 2018. Hey, brother, things are crazy. In my wildest dreams, I would have not imagined it going this well. With interest now... with interest now from Microsoft. They are bringing a 20-person team first week of May 2018 to offer to buy the company, I am sure, and to offer a publishing agreement if we refuse to offer the buy, they'll offer to publish our game. I want to jump on a call tonight to give you an update. We also have interesting potential to purchase Daybreak, formerly Sony Online, virtually for free. Daybreak was purchased by someone else. Some of the employees from Daybreak were actually hired by Intrepid. I think Jeff and Margaret were hired from Daybreak. Microsoft is going to send 20 people down to buy the company, I am sure of it. And to offer a publishing agreement if we refuse. How much of this is a lie? How much? April 2018. How much is the truth and how much is a lie? Tencent, Microsoft. PAX convention, we know they were doing the road shows. They were just showing vaporware and pushing the game and getting people to just keep kicking money in. A 20-person team from Microsoft is coming down. How come? Where's the pictures? Yeah, this is all leaked text from Jason. I keep telling you guys this. This is all stuff Jason, who invested millions of dollars, got pissed after all this blew up, contacted Nephis with all this information. Nephis made... I want to say something about Nephis QS, this YouTuber. He put together an amazing video going over this. He even had Jason call him on a live stream. And I don't know much about Nephis, but there's just a lot of people for some reason that do not like him. And I don't know why. I'm not sure why. The video he made should already be well over 1 million views. But he's just, for some people, he's just a little bit off-putting, and I'm just not sure why. But this is all coming from Nephis, who was contacted by one of the investors. Well, Microsoft does own Blizzard. Why would they, like they own Blizzard, but why would Microsoft send a 20-person team to a company that basically is vaporware? It's vaporware and is a Kickstarter. Why would Microsoft send 20 people down for this? Okay, so the whole Fortnite thing. So Steven's like, oh my God, Fortnite's doing so good. Maybe we should capitalize on that. Let's make our own let's make our own battle royale. Forget the MMO. Let's make a battle royale. Guys, would you ever, talk about a pivot. Talk about a pivot. And it's already here. They've already been working on it. So in May, they're going to launch their version of Fortnite, because Fortnite's so popular. Here we are, we're in June of 2018. The dates are always very, very important to me. Jason's already in for millions, a few million, and we know that. Yeah, I should have sold to Embracer, but again, there wasn't, guys, remember, there's no product. There was no product. Then he decided, let's shift. Let's stop working on the MMO. Let's make a battle royale. We're in June of 18. The thing's ready to go. Then a bunch of bull crap here. I'm in it for the legacy. I want to build our empire. And Jason's just falling right into the trap. About, yes. I actually don't see selling it out completely. And these just like in the first year, if they offered to buy, my guys say, and you switched inside and you found your true calling in life. So Jason is returning the butter to Steven because he thinks things are going so well. And so the compliments just keep coming left and right here between him. And remember, Jason was introduced to Steven through Steven's mom. And so now they're talking about, you know, Steven's mom and all this kind of stuff. We're still June of 18. June of 18. Look at this in June of 18. Yeah, I don't know. Steven to Jason, June of 18. Morning, buddy. I can come up with $7 million on my own. He never put 1 penny in, allegedly. Not 1 penny. But I would need a minimum of $2 million from you for 60 days. If you can swing that today, it would help out. The daybreak deal will raise the Intrepid value by $100 million. There was no daybreak deal. We don't want to miss this opportunity. Let me know. Now, here's the thing. I think Jason already gave $2 million. And he's asking for $2 million more. I'm not 100% on that. I'm trying to match this up with the spreadsheet, and I can't get it to match on the dates. But it's just pure insanity here. I can come up with $7 million on my own. No, you didn't come up with anything. And he's talking about how he's going to buy Daybreak, which never happened. Someone else bought it. And if we buy Daybreak, it'll raise our value by $100 million. So give me $2 million, and you're going to get even more back because the value of our company is going to go up. Again, oh no, you gave him the money. You gave him the money, and who else is Steven talking to? Now look at this. You gave him the $2 million. I think that's $2 million. Steven's like, I got it. June of 18. Apocalypse is going on or whatever. I wonder who else Steven's talking to get money from. He thinks he's going to buy Daybreak.
Hey now.
He's going to buy Daybreak and build a dynasty. And he's got Tencent involved wanting to buy stuff. He's got Microsoft apparently coming down, interested in the company. What is the mantra of MLM? What is the mantra? Fake it till you make it. That is the mantra of MLM. Fake it till you make it. He's faking it. Allegedly. Now we're getting into later in the year. We're getting into the late 2018. And again, it's just bullcrap. You know, are you going to take crypto on Ashes or any other games? Any other games? Like what games? I have a group that can help take crypto and convert it to in real time for you. It's something we can consider for sure. Steven don't care about. Unless you're going to take your crypto and give it to me or give me money from crypto, I don't really care what you're talking about. Because I've got a grift going on here, and I need money, 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 money. Late 18. $2019 is when the fun really begins. And 2019 is the year where things start to get kind of shady. Yeah, and again, let's remember here, Nachi and others, these are people, he is an MLMer who is dealing with other MLMers. It's the scammer scamming the scammers. Okay? And like who do you like, you know, is there anyone to feel sorry for here? I don't know. The employees? I don't know. But hey, when you're an employee, you made money, and you're supposed to save 6 months at least worth of savings. So I don't know who to feel sorry for here anymore. Our monetization is performing at near Fortnite's performance. Really? Jason, it says amazing. Our average player spent 53 and Fortnite's average spent 58. Is he talking about Apocalypse? Amazing. Hey, bro. Listen to this. I want you to know if you've given any additional thought about our conversation a couple weeks ago, even if it's not something you are interested in. This is January of 19. If there were anyone who you knew that is interested in the opportunity of providing financing for the capital we are looking for. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is January of 2019. Go back to 17. Go back to 18. What happened to Tencent? What happened to Microsoft? The deal that was going to close. You said the deal. I don't know how much they needed. He told Jason a year or 2 years ago, Tencent's going to close a deal with us. Microsoft is sending 20 people down here to give us money and invest, or even buy the company. Even buy the company. I've got, why would you need money? If there is anyone who you knew that is interested in providing financing, why would you, if I had already given him $2 million at least, which is what Jason did, I would look at this and say, wait a minute. Microsoft sent 20 people down to buy. You are sure they were going to buy the company. What happened? What happened to Tencent? What happened to all these companies that are interested in you and giving you money and working with you? Why would you want me to ask my friends if there was any money if there's any money they can invest? You shouldn't need anything. This is when this is the first crack right here. This is despicable. This is despicable, like you said. We're not into alpha yet. We're not into alpha 1 yet. I played alpha 1. That's not till 2021. It was delayed till July 2021. Why would you ask Jason, who already gave you money, and remember, he told the public that he's not using anyone's money. Remember, guys, the lie. The lie. I'm not using anyone else's money. This to me is one of the most critical things I've seen, even though I know it's a little bit blurry. How could you tell people that you've got Microsoft, you've got Tencent, you've got all these other people interested in you? But do you know anyone that could give us more money? Do you know anyone? And it's stated right here again. On the 9th, the CEO of MailRU and their managing director of global investments are flying in to meet me about investments in Intrepid. I'll be in Vegas at a convention, meeting with the investment teams from Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Epic. But I need money from you and I'll pay a high interest rate on it. And small amount of equity as convertibles. Either way, you are brilliant and have always provided me with the advice that is vital. Where's Microsoft? Where's Tencent? I need money from you, but I'm going to Vegas and I'm going to meet with the investment teams from Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Epic. This makes no sense. Why would you need money from Jason and or his friends if you've got Tencent and Microsoft and Amazon and Google and Epic knocking at your door? It makes no sense. And the Microsoft stuff and the Tencent stuff was a long time ago. If anyone was going to invest in them, he would have had the money already. Or Microsoft, like he said, Microsoft is going to buy the company. He said that before. What happened to that? Nothing. Unbelievable. 2019. February. Steven texts Jason. It's like the stars have aligned for Intrepid. In February. I agree with you on some fronts, but super high valuation investor that at today's market value make no logical sense. I would take the money. So I don't know exactly what this is talking about. This is maybe someone like willing to invest or buy the company or something that's just like doesn't even exist. It's just not happening. And Jason's trying to say, take the money, you know. And Jason should have demanded, and which he did later on. I need to see your profit and loss. I need to see your accounting statements. I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust you anymore. He should have demanded that up front. But he trusted his mom. He trusted his mom that his son is acting in good faith. Again, streaming on Twitch. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to try to just keep focused on the topic at hand because we're going to go up to YouTube afterwards. If I don't meet and greet anyone in chat, I apologize for that. We're trying to stay on topic. And the word big boys, the big guys and big boys, just wait. You're going to hear that word later. Okay, so here's the thing about Activision did layoffs, and Jason's telling me, why don't you pick up some of their employees? So they're hiring. They're hiring people that have been laid off. Okay. Here's Steven putting out a bunch of bull crap about how certain loans work and stuff like that. And again, he's talking about, he's giving information. Okay, here's really good. We're in February now of 2019. This is after this is after all the promises of Microsoft is going to buy our company. Tencent is ready to invest. We got a meeting with Amazon, a meeting with all these companies. Again, it appears to be all fake and all a lie. So Steven is giving information on February 2019 to Jason about how certain loans work, right? Meaning, if I were to be, if you or your friends gave me money, these are the kind of loan deals I could do with you or your friends. These are the kind of deals I can do. Okay. Then what does Jason say at 3:43 p.m. on February? How much do you need now? And how much do you need every month going forward? February 2019. After all this talk about all these companies that are going to buy us, invest in us, Jason's like, you're basically giving me advertising material for people who want to loan me money and give me money. And here's my promise in return. Okay, that's 2:15. Then on 2:22, Steven says, you're a boss. Talking about layoffs, Guild Wars 2. They are developers behind Guild Wars 2. Between them and Blizzard, we, are, in, such a unique, opportunistic. So Steven's trying to say, look, the gaming industry and all these companies are laying off. It's our opportunity to take over the gaming world. Now, I don't know if between these dates, did Jason give more money or not? I have no idea. Or did someone else give more money? The butter keeps rolling out. It keeps buttering them up. MMOs, and then again, MMOs did $20 billion in 2016. Our game is currently ranked 3rd place, the best MMO according to MMO players, and we aren't even released yet. He's laughing about it. I'm going to keep an eye on these dates. 3/3/2019. Thanks, brother. Thanks for what? Thanks for what? Did he give him more money? Did he give him more money? Update. Apex Legends game Apocalypse is like Apocalypse. The game is gun-based. So we're in March of 19. Just more bull crap. More crap about how much you can make in the industry. And then Jason's like, have you filed your taxes yet? No, we haven't filed yet. Profit and loss? Send me those. Send me those. And then here it says he forwarded to them. I don't know what he sent them. We haven't filed 2018 yet. And here we go. Jason gives Steven another $500,000. Guys, Microsoft was supposed to buy the company. Tencent was supposed to invest. What happened to your talk? Where's your talk with Amazon? Epic Games? You're talking to all these big companies. Why would you need money from Jason or his friends? Why? Jason gives him another $500,000 in March. Finally, April. Another message from Steven to Jason. Say hello to our new Chinese partners. Now, this is not Tencent. I don't know if they're owned by Tencent. Yeah, Jason at this point has got to put the dunce cap on. When you look around the room and you don't know who the sucker is, you know, you're the sucker. Say hello to our new Chinese partners. April of 2019. Who are these people? Hello, brother. Here's what we're going to get from our new Chinese partners. $60 million over 5 years secured with 35% revenue share from our new Chinese partners, iDream Sky. I didn't do any research on them. I don't know if they're owned by Tencent or whatever. I'll call you tonight to update. So 60 million over 5 years means like that. So you don't need money from Jason anymore, right? You finally have shown proof. You didn't show any proof with Microsoft. You didn't show any proof with Tencent. You didn't show any proof with Amazon, with Epic, with any other company that you claimed you were going to get money from or doing a deal with. You finally showed proof in June of 19 to Jason that I have investors. So that means you don't need money anymore from Jason, correct, Steven? 60 million over 5 years from iDream Sky. It's a done deal. It's a done deal, isn't it? Isn't it a done deal? Here, we're showing you the papers. Jason, this must mean if I was Jason, I'd be like, oh, this is so nice. I don't need to worry about you hitting me up or my friends up with money anymore. Yeah, I know, me too. In the meantime, he's selling packages for the game, selling cosmetics, selling this, selling that. Here's our new investor. iDream share to invest, but it blows up later. Again, June of 19. 37 hours until Apocalypse goes live from our early access. Congrats, and I hope it blows up huge. Counting on it. Trust me. I'm counting on it. Trust me. What that tells me is Jason is starting to worry a little bit. Jason is starting to worry a little bit. Hey now. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Give it to me, baby. Jason with this one statement, I feel he's starting to worry a little bit. Thank you guys for coming into the live stream. Anyone on YouTube, I apologize for all the pauses, but it is better for me to live stream this than try to make a pre-recorded video. Because I love my friends on Twitch. Gonna be big. Okay, so they're talking about Apocalypse, which is a battle royale. He switched into battle royale when he saw that Fortnite was doing so good. Gonna be a big... it just shows you how much he cares about the MMO community that helped him with the Kickstarter, because they want an MMO. It just shows how little he cared about the community. Going to be big Tuesday, 12-hour access, kick the tires, get a good test data. Then we go up full-time on Friday, depending upon whether testing shows. And then he's trying to talk about the monetization before, that he can monetize Apocalypse, similar to what Fortnite is monetizing for Fortnite. He's like, don't share this. It's some video of gameplay for Apocalypse or whatever. So Jason's replying, hey, it looks awesome. Game of Thrones, blah, 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 blah. Looks great. It looks like different games combined. Cool. I'm excited about the movie rights. See, so Jason now is back all in. Like, you know, let's you know, our company and our games are going to be so big, we're going to make a movie based on them, and we're just going to be rich beyond our wildest dreams. This is August of 2019. You got to pay attention to the dates. August of 2019. And Steven's like, yeah, me too. Keep in mind, Steven knows how bad things are. And that's why he's not so excited as Jason is, because Jason doesn't know how bad things are. Steve knows how bad things are, and it's hard when you know how bad things are. I mean, you can only lie so much and put up a charade. For Steven to say me too, you don't feel the conviction in there. You don't feel the conviction. And he's talking about who he wants to play, you know, characters in the movie that they're going to be making. So he continues to string along. Jason. Now we're at the 21st of August. Somebody can't meet this week and said maybe next week, and he isn't sure if he wants to do it and risk the money. I explained there is no risk. These look to me like they are friends of Jason, and Steven is trying to get Jason now to either him or people he knows to give more money. Even though they signed a $60 million deal with iDreamSky, in addition to everything else I mentioned. He's still trying to farm Jason and his contacts for any kind of money. August 21st, 2019. And Jason's like, just ask your mom. Ask your mom. Steven's keeping his mom out of this. Why? Why would you scam your own mom? Steven wants more money. 821. All right, well, let me know if this other person is interested. Look at this. Same day, 1:11 p.m. Also, if you are able to swing 500,000, I could do the other 245, which there's no record of him putting any money into this company. And because it would be paid back by 9/17, I'd be down to do 20% interest on it by 9/17. With a penalty of 1% equity per month late. No possible way it's late. Do you see what's happening here? Yeah, that's right. Do you see what's happening here? I need 500,000 from you. Here's the terms of the deal. I'm probably at this point in time, August 21st of 2019, working my text messages with other people to probably try to get money from them. And what I'll eventually do, if I get enough money, I'll cover the money you gave me. But there's no guarantee. I don't think he covered anything. In fact, it looks to me like Jason never got one penny back on his investment. That's right. Someone in chat here is talking about ArcAge, and this goes back to Nick Rage, who was one of the first people who had community interaction with Steven regarding what a shyster he was. And Nick Rage called him out years ago, and everyone ignored Nick Rage. Nick Rage's guild, they are a very serious guild, the Orenthal. They dominated ArcAge, and Steven wanted to buy him out. Nick Rage showed the proof of that years ago, but no one wanted to listen to Nick Rage. Nick Rage called out New World early on because they tried to change the way the game played. Look what happened in New World. And it's interesting, if you're one of the people that met him at PAX, you're in a pretty unique crowd there. August 21st, I need more money. Yep, I need more money. I need more money. Even though I had 20 people from Microsoft and Tencent and iDreamSky and all these big companies that are going to give me money, it's a for sure thing. I am 100% positive that Microsoft is sending 20 people down here and they're going to buy our company. That's what he told Jason. Long time ago. What happened to all of that? Why didn't Jason say, what happened to this? Oh, I need 500,000. I need 500,000. August 21st. Jason, I can't do it. I can't do it until I free up capital. Don't be a wussy and just be real with your mom. Jason, like, at this point, haven't you realized yet what's going on here? When you're trying to get Steven to borrow money from his mom, after Steven made all these promises of all these millions of dollars that are going to come in from these other companies. And then, of course, Steven comes back with I can't do it because of her health. You know how that goes. Jason says, I'm tapped. I'm tapped. August 21st, 19, I'm tapped. Could you figure out some cash in my safe ways of making this work? It's okay, Steven says. The only reason I'm asking is because of the launch we are about to have. And these opportunities came up at the last minute. I understand if you're tapped. I just wanted to give you the option if you were able. And if it was a matter of additional equity, I'd do that for you too. Yep. And again, anyone in chat, where I'm trying to keep very focused here, because we're going to be uploading this to YouTube, trying to keep really focused here on this. I appreciate people in chat. I decided to do this live. It's probably better for me to do this live than trying to make a video off live stream. Again, on the 21st, Steven texts back, okay, let me know if this other person is interested. Also, if you're able to do 500K. Okay, we got that. Okay, we're still on the 21st. Ask mom and I could pay mom back. Don't be such a good son. It's not like she is broke. She has 10x what I have in the bank. So if she has 10 times what Jason has, that means she's got like $80 million. You are overthinking your personal life. Come on, I rarely tell you, and I don't agree, but you are family. Your mom can float it for me for 4 weeks. And then when I get my deal done, he's doing some deal. My funds can release. I'll gladly take another $1 million on my original deal. No way, cannot do it. She has health issues. And she specifically told me not to leverage myself. I am not going to bother her with it. Steven has a tiny bit of scruples left to where he's not going to scam his mom. And I wonder if he knows you can't destroy your own family. There are 3 opportunities. Each of them give us 10 to 30 ROI. These are costs to take your game to these places. These are sponsorship deals. That's why it's so expensive. TwitchCon, Team Liquid packs. He's like, I need money so that I could go to these places and promote the game, and more people will buy packages from us. And he's claiming there's going to be a ROI on basically what is a sunk cost. I can't now ask this other person to borrow money. I have to wait. I don't want to ask your mom. But since you get the money back in less than 30 days, tell your mom to pay the interest. He's saying you're stubborn. Just ask your mom for the short-term loan. It's because it's all a scam. That's why. We know this other person is broke. Blah, blah, blah. Still, we're on 821. Yeah, no way asking this person, and they're broke, and no way we can tell mom. We're still on the 21st. Look at this. We're on the 21st still. Yeah, I'm checking chat right now. Thanks, Shogun, for being here. Look at what Steven said again. Even after all this, on the same day, you sure you can't do a 26-day loan? Remember, this is Steven Sharif, who over the last few years talked about how Microsoft sent a 20-person team down to most likely buy the company. Tencent, iDream Sky, $60 million over 5 years. And you're looking for loan shark money. Where's all the millions from all these companies? And you're loan sharking. You're looking for a loan shark to give you money in August of 2019. And Steven's asking Jason about his ownership stake. And here's Jason. Poor Jason. If I get money in sooner, I will. And Steven's like, I'll bump it up to 13% flat as the interest and payback principal in 26 days. I'm concerned to ask the Chinese. I thought of that. Why not? It's a good move on your part to be honest and transparent. People are more understanding and reasonable. It's a paper trailing best to ask for the next 45 days. What happened to the Chinese? What happened to the Chinese? I sent it to 2 as well. Haven't heard back yet from PAX or TwitchCon. Other 2 are no-goes, so it's actually good that Team Liquid went for it because it reduces the amount we would need, blah, 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 blah. These are all promotional opportunities. And then here. So I'd be looking for $300,000 as a 30-day short-term loan with 20% interest, if that's something you could swing. Do you see what he's doing? You see how he's been doing? See what he's been doing? Like, he's talking about something, and at the same time, he's still looking for money. He's still looking for money. $821 still. I might be able to cover $300,000. We'll let you know by tomorrow. Can you take cash? Yes, we could do that, I think. You are a god, my brother. Lay it on. Lay it on. You could have just asked your mom. I'll always be in your debt. I love the love you've shown. Again, we're just on August 21st. He needed $300,000, even though he's got all these companies that want in. We are in here. We are about to explode. Jason says, I have more money into this than anyone. Trust me, I need this. We're going to explode. You're the object of my adoration and respect. I'm working my ass off for you. I appreciate it, my friend. This is extremely helpful for launch plans. You have no idea. So Jason's already in for 2 million at least, and several hundred thousands more. I don't know what the total is at this point. Let's just say a few $1,000,000 by August. This is extremely helpful for launch plans. Now, I don't know if he's talking about Apocalypse. By the way, cash is fine. We can do either. Okay, I'll be able to handle tomorrow. Monday at the latest. Just juggling money like you are. We are juggling, and then Steven's trying to be funny. We're juggling professionals. Thanks. Sent over docs by email. Docs meaning here's, probably here's your new shares and ownership, Okay, so now we jump to a month later. We are now September 24th. Hey, brother, sorry, in launch right now. We launched Apocalypse, the Battle Royale, today on Early Access about 4 hours ago. So we're in the trenches right now. Sky asked to extend the payment to October 3rd. So remember, Sky was the one where he officially had an investor, $60 million over 5 years. Sky, the Chinese company. Sky asked to extend the payment to October 3rd. So we said that's fine. And then now he's blaming the Chinese. These people will whatever they have to do. Blame the Chinese, have a Singapore, so, Jason's still flying around the world with his business deals, trying to sell crappy skincare products, which I already went over earlier in the stream. The ingredients in their skincare products are pure crap. You'll never get any benefit. It's a moisturizer. Launch is going very well. We're number 1 on Steam. Trying to push another build out. We're getting into October of 2019. 10-3. Hey, bro, sorry, been live with these streamers and their show. It hasn't come in yet. I texted them tonight and is calling them in the morning. I think he's talking about the Chinese money. I think he's talking about the Chinese money. I'm not concerned yet, but it's not a good sign from them. I'm almost done at work. We have another live stream, and I'll be done at 11:30. I think he's talking about the money from Sky that was supposed to be coming in. October. Here we go. October 6th. The Chinese are defaulting on their payment and are claiming that the Government Approval Committee will not approve the license for Ashes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got a problem. Remember the pictures with him and the contracts? We got 60 million coming in over 5 years from Sky. It's official. Look at the pictures. I didn't show you any pictures of the meeting with Tencent. I didn't show you any pictures of the meeting with the 20 people from Microsoft. I didn't show you any pictures with the meetings with these other big companies, probably because they never existed. I finally was able to talk to some people in China, and so I made sure to give you pictures of that. It turns out it's not going too well, and I'm going to blame them for it. I'm going to blame them. The Government Approval Committee will not approve the license for Ashes. In the contract, they have the right to pull the plug if they don't receive government approval for the game. Guys, whether this is true or not, I don't know if this is true, but when you deal with China, the CCP kind of has to give you approval for anything you do. And, why wasn't this discussed and approved earlier, like a year ago when the deal came through. I'm also going to call my mom tonight to discuss with her, let her know the company is in a bad spot and may need some help. I think he finally got to the point where he needed some money from his mom. Please do. I need my cash and can't go any longer. This is from Jason. I apologize, but I need my money. So I think Jason gave him a short-term loan in addition to the original investment. So those short-term loans are supposed to be paid back. I'm telling you guys, based on what I've seen here, Jason is 68 years old. Oh, no, he was born in 1968. Do the math. According to Grok, he was born in 68, which means he's in his late 50s. This is when it really starts to crack. So Jason not only put in millions, he gave him these short-term loans. Steven is not even going to pay back the short-term loans, even though he said he's going to do it for sure. There's no risk. Jason's saying, I need my money. Using my savings, and I just need my money, and I'm very sorry. These guys effed you. I can't tell, blah, blah, blah. He will come I can't tell the other investor. He will come unglued. He is expecting his money by the end of the month, and mine on Monday, bro. So it's not just Jason. Other people are coming in too, giving him short-term loans with high interest. Looks like Steven is defaulting on those loans. And he's going to blame someone else for it. He's going to blame iDreamSky. I am ball deep in funding your company. But I told you before, I can't afford to lend you this money. Now I feel bad and sad, and this sucks. October 6, 2019. Yeah, bro, this is not good. I think you need to go out and dilute yourself and raise more money. This non-payment from iDreamSky will kill us. I agree. I already sent our advisors an email last night with our earnings, sales data, and game metrics to read. Oh my God. Are you seeing this? Can you look at this? Look at this. iDreamSky's not going to pay. You and your buddies gave me loans, short-term loans. You know, I got payroll to meet, right? I got devs payroll to meet and whatever I'm skimming off the top. So I'm sorry I can't pay you, even though I promised to on these short-term loans. I can't pay you, but here's some good news. We are reaching out to the big boys. So don't worry. We're reaching out to the big boys, so don't worry. Electronic Arts, Activision, Amazon, Google, and Epic, and some tech funds. He told me he will have calls lined up this week for me. Okay? So listen to this. Listen to this. Here come the big boys again to the rescue. Don't worry, the big boys are coming to the rescue again, even though I can't pay you. iDreamSky didn't give me any money. They defaulted on this deal. I can't pay you your money back, even though I said I would. The big boys are coming to the rescue. By the way, even though I ripped you off and can't pay you or your friends, I have big boys coming. Oh, by the way, are there any friends or funds you know that may be interested if we did a quick raise? Meaning more money. Loan, equity, convertible, whatever at this point. I can't pay your money. I can't pay you your money that I promised, but can I borrow more? And let me fake you again with the big boys. It's always the big boys. Tencent, Microsoft, Amazon, Activision, Google. Google? Why would Google have any involvement with you? It's only because it's a big name. Everyone knows who Google is. I ripped you off, but I need more money. This right here is like, I thought I read some crazy statements today. And I don't know if other content creators are going deep like I am. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at human behavior here. I don't know if anyone else is going this deep. I ripped you off. You gave me a short-term loan that you had to scrounge for, even though you've already given me a few $1,000,000. Now I'm asking for a loan, and I'll pay you back on the 19th or whatever, and then I'm going to come back and tell you I can't pay you. By the way, do you or anyone else have more money? This is the most insane. And he says it with a straight face. Meanwhile, he's having streams with the community, telling everyone how great the game is. And I have to mention, their Discord, I think there was a time when you had to be a member before you could join their Discord, I think. Their Discord at that time was a 24/7 MLM meeting. It was raw. It was just raw. Their Discord was nothing but hype. Mem hype 24/7. I want to mention that before I forget. Their Discord was an MLM meeting. It was an MLM meeting back in 2018, 2019. This is the most crazy thing I've ever seen in my life. I ripped you off, but can you loan me more money? Because I'm going to be talking to the big boys. Don't worry. The psychology that the kind of person you have to be to do this. And the next day, come on to like a live stream and just talk about how the node system is going to work or whatever. And how the game is fully funded by me. There's no investors. I showed you the statement from 2022 where he said there's no investors, there's no lenders, it's just me and you. 3 years after this, he's still trying to tell everyone there's no investors. That's how important all this information is. Poor Jason. Jason says, okay, I'll make some calls, even though you ripped me off. Steven says, this fiasco with DreamSky has put us in a bad spot. I'm discussing long-term investment rounds with Amazon, Kakao, Epic, and a couple of tech funds this week that our advisors have lined up. Do you really have advisors? And I'm getting on a call with EA in 5 minutes. Guys, those, however, would be solutions of minimum 60, 90 days. Someone show me the records of any money that Steven got from Amazon, Kakao, and Epic during this time frame. We need a short-term lender or small equity investor in the realm of $2 to $3 million. Any luck on the calls you were making? Anyone know that can come through? I ripped you off. You gave me a loan that you scrounged for, and even your friend gave me money. I can't pay you back. I basically defaulted on the loan to you, blaming iDreamSky. By the way, I need $2 to $3 million more. Do you see how he keeps doing this? I'm meeting with big investors, the big boys. But by the way, during the interim, I need millions of dollars from you and your friends. This is pure. This guy needs a minimum of 20 years in jail for this. For everything. This guy's got to be put away for at least 20 years. Okay, 10-7. Jason is starting to, he's going to start to get pissed. I'm not in a position at the moment. Now, I don't know, at this point in time, did they stop doing Apocalypse and did they start back on the MMO? The community went crazy over Apocalypse. I think they may, and then, okay, remember, publicly and privately. Privately, Apocalypse was going to be the next big thing for the company. Publicly, he said Apocalypse was just there for testing purposes, to test our systems. Publicly, Apocalypse is there to test our systems. Don't worry, we're making an MMO. Privately, Apocalypse is going to be the next Fortnite. So I think they had already switched to the MMO at this point. Okay, I'm not in a position at the moment. I apologize. I'm not in a good spot. I need to go to your mom. Anyone else get the money? Steve, right here. October 7th. Are you paying me today? I need some answers. This is not cool. Remember, Jason made an investment of at least $2 million and probably more. But he also made a short-term loan to Steven. Not getting paid back, that short-term loan. And Steven is still continuing to ask for money. I need answers. Call you in 30. 10-9, let's see, when is that? 2 days later, I'm meeting tomorrow at 1 p.m. with a Gap financing group. It's a long shot. But I don't know, man. I'm in a bad spot. Google and Amazon got back, and Andreessen Horowitz, a fund up in Menlo Park, all interested in discussing equity opportunities. But that's a minimum of... Is that Steven? No. I said everything's alleged. But I don't know, man. I'm in a bad spot. So, like, I met with Google. Like, why in the F would Google talk to you? You know? But it would all take 3 months. Payroll is on the 15th. Guys, October 9th, Steven can't even meet payroll. Apparently. How much money have you skimmed off? How much have you skimmed and taken as your salary and your spouse's salary? And who else? Who else in the company is getting nice, juicy payments from you? I am not going to give Margaret Crone a clear pass yet. His community manager. I am not giving her a free ride yet. Maybe there'll be more information about what she knew. Payroll. He's claiming he can't even meet payroll now. Jason's really starting to lose it. I'm not in a good place at the moment. I need to pay my bills too. I'm in deep with your deal, and honestly, this is not a good spot for any of us. If I come up with anything, you can run this company and build it, but you won't control it. Or the board. Be prepared. You have totally effed up and effed me. So I apologize. This is no longer Jason, your buddy. This is Jason being serious. I have to either liquidate crypto or get a loan against it to borrow more money from someone to pay you. I gave you $5 million in debt. I also borrowed $5 million against my distributorship on the other deal because I didn't have the money. I gave it to you anyway. I'm just as screwed as you are. This is when the wheels really came off. Same day response. I understand. I know the spot you're in. I'm in the same spot. See how that is? Do you see how they do that? Do you see how the salesman does it? Hey, or the stockbroker. The stockbroker calls you and says, buy Kmart. And then you lose all your money on Kmart. And you call your stockbroker. And you know what's the first thing he says to you? He says, I lost money too. I lost money too. It's not just you. I lost money. Steven didn't lose nothing. So far, from what we know, he hasn't put a penny into this company. Typical sales tactic. You lost money? So did I. You and me are together. You go to buy a car? Hey, is this car good? He goes, yeah, I own one. I own one. They're great. And then you blame other people too. It's not me, it's the Chinese. It's the Chinese. Had I known, I would have prepared to do an investment round. No, there ain't no investment round from nobody. There's no investment rounds. No one wants to invest in your company. Nobody. You're just getting Kickstarter money, selling packages, and scamming anyone that you can scam. That's what you're doing. And then right here, is there anyone that can cover a $2 million loan to us for 90 days? If you didn't pay back the 30-day loan at $300,000, why would anyone trust you to pay back a $2 million loan for 90 days? Oh, is it because you're meeting with the big boys? Because it's going to take 90 days to get the money from Google. This is pure insanity. This is pure insanity. If you really take the time to read these texts, take the time to analyze this. I can get a series done in that time to raise 30 to 40 million and give up a chunk of equity. But if we miss payroll next week, it's impossible. Again, he's got the gun to Jason's head. I owe you money. I need more money. In 90 days, I'll have 30 to 40 million. I'm going to lie to you again about how I'm going to get money. Because Jason doesn't know anything. He doesn't know who the gaming companies are. He doesn't know, Electronic Arts. Those companies aren't going to talk to this guy. This guy's already under suspicion. As far back as 2017, he was under suspicion. There were articles in 2017 written about him. He was under suspicion back then. It's all fake. It's all fake. If we miss payroll, it becomes impossible. So if we miss payroll and you didn't give me any money, this thing is going to blow up and you're going to lose everything. But all I need is to make payroll. I need 90 days so I can get another 40 million from somebody, from one of the big boys. And then he comes the woe is me stuff. Yeah, I know he sold his Ferrari. I can't sleep because I feel terrible. Love you more than my own family. There is no doubt we can do a successful round within 90 days. Why would anyone believe you? I just need 2 million. I just need 2 million. If I don't get 2 million from you and or your friends, we're going down. If I get the 2 million, I can meet payroll, we can go long enough. In 90 days, I'll have another $40 million from one of the big boys. Never happen. Never. I don't have anyone, bro. You're on your own. If you come to me to borrow money, I'm taking an equal share of equity. I'm done. Sorry, I'm screwed and I need my $300,000 that I loaned you. I should not have given you that $300,000. I didn't have it to give. You put me in a bad spot. Steven just comes back. Hey, I've been working on trying to find some gap funding while we prepare a Series A round. A firm in San Diego called Mintz is helping us trying to find short-term lenders. Is there anything you can pull together by Thursday? I know this is bad. I know you're pissed. I'm pissed about the Chinese. But I'm trying to protect both our investments. We're both in this together. Guys, What investment did Steven make? Like, where's his investment? There is no investment on his part. He's just trying to use other people's money. He's got no investment. 300,000 should be nothing to you, Steven. You told Neckrage that you were a billionaire. Isn't that what he said to Neckrage? I'm a billionaire. Let me buy your guild or whatever from you. 300,000 should be nothing to you. Right? 300,000 nothing. Guys, and again, you have to take the time to read these texts, to truly read them, to see the psychology of a scam artist. You're the person you're scamming. You need to be like, you need to make it look like you're both in trouble. It's not just you, it's me too. We can survive 90 days and do another round. Another round with who? Joe on the street corner? No one is working with you. Nobody. Sorry we got put in this situation. I'm not sure what else to do. Once people don't get a paycheck, the value of the company goes to zero. These texts will be in the Nefes. Let me tell you, because this is important. We'll go to the next thing. I want to show you the images. Here is the guy's YouTube channel. I implore you. It is a pretty long video. Nefes QS, go to his YouTube channel. It's well over an hour. I watched his video 4 times. 4 times in order to get as much out of it as I could. You'll see everything there. That's all I can say. Go to this guy's channel, the video's there. Also, the interview he had with Jason's there too. Since I'm on the slideshow, remember, this is 2022. I'm funding the project, no investors. This is 2022. We are in the timeline on the text in 2019. Do you see the disconnect between the public face and the private? This is all a lie. This guy lived, you know, when you live a lie, eventually you get caught, right? If I don't meet payroll, we're going bankrupt. There was some more images came out. Some got kind of blurred for whatever reason. But this is Jason has lost it. Steam is still denying refund requests. Maybe there's no more money. I don't know. I heard that Steven did take some of the money from Steam for himself. I'm not sure about that. The courts are going to be busy. Jason has blown up officially. We're only in like October of 2019. This charade kept going until early 2026. Because even despite all of this, Jason's friends invested tens of millions of dollars. Even after this, that's even crazier. Jason has lost it. He's pissed. Look, I listened to you about all this horse crap. Originally, the Tencent was the deal. Then nothing. See, Jason's finally realizing that you kept telling me about all these companies. It never happened. You kept telling. Jason's finally kind of figured it out here. I need my 300,000. You put me in a bad spot. Here's that thing again. We're looking for this. We're getting financing. Here's the one where I don't think it's covered now. You don't deserve to keep how much equity you have. This is crap. For you to put me in this position Call your other investor, ask them to borrow money, whoever that is. So you see, Steven's working multiple angles here. Remember that, multiple angles he's working. I can't believe I listened to you about this deal. It's all horse crap. Tencent, this is all you're doing. 1014. Had to have blah 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 and help me pay that $3 million to get you where we were needed. I should have said no. So what are you suggesting I do now? Sell one of my homes? November 14th. We're still in 2019. I'm on a plane. I texted your mom to find money for you. You took money from me. This $300,000, I specifically said I couldn't afford it to give you, and you took $1 million from somebody. So tell me what to do. 1014. If I have to get a loan and sell some Bitcoin to get more money, then you don't deserve to keep what you have. So send a proposal and copy for me to review. Jason's going to give him more money. 10:14, 10:45 p.m. I know this is crappy for you and for me too. I put everything I have in almost 4 years, 16 hours a day into the company. No, you put everything other people have, not what you have. It will pay off. We just got stuck in a bad situation because of the crappy Chinese people. I should have done a round earlier. This company will be the largest MMO in history. Bigger than World of Warcraft's $13 billion. I need 90 days. I already talked to Mom. She won't help me. The difference between talking to Mom and talking to the big boys. I wouldn't be asking you for help or find someone to help if it wasn't our last option. I already scammed you and took money from you on the original investment and people you know. I begged you for a loan, a short-term loan that I guaranteed I would pay you back. I didn't do that either. But guess what? I need more money from you. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. I got to make payroll or the company's going down. Jason blows up again. I'm going to take 51% equity. You want me to borrow money or get a loan to cover payroll? You and John, I don't know if John is his partner or what. I said I can't afford this. Did you not listen to me? So put your pants on. Take the valuation of being some, let's see, I'm not going to take your valuations of being some billion-dollar deal when you can't get deals done or get screwed on them. Meaning, you said Tencent, you can't get that deal done. You apparently got a deal with iDreamSky, but you couldn't get that one done. I'm holding the largest debt, which if this deal goes down because of this screw up, I'm losing my money, $7 million. Yeah, that's what I thought, Amron. John is his husband and partner. I think they're both in on this together. I'd like to know how much money they skimmed off of all of this. How much they skimmed off. In like, oh, we have to pay a salary to ourselves. So Jason's in $7 million at this point. Him and or his friends. You have a gun to my head, so to speak, of course. Nefes puts out a recap. Attempts were apparently made to publisher corporate deals early on. Nope. Chinese company paused deal on funding. Private loans formed the backbone of the entire company. Private loans. Budgets for growth and marketing were questionable. Very obviously, no research was done. Business isn't just run on optimism. Weird focus on battle royale games. Frequency of borrowing money increased. Growing signs of mismanagement. Optimism starts dying down. Love bombing increases. Desperation increases. Schisms form between Steven and Jason. This is what I sent your mom. Sharon, I'm on a plane. You will learn that I'm taking control of your son's company and will be the major shareholder. Please take this seriously before you say no to helping him. 10:14. All right, I will do that, Jason. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly, truly sorry we're in this spot. I would not be asking you to help if I wasn't 100% certain that I can do a usually successful round in 90 days. Just like he was certain about all the other things that were going to happen. He was certain about this money and certain about this money and certain about being able to pay back the loan. And certain about this and certain about this. I am certain I'm going to be able to get financing in 90 days. It's always the 90 days. Jason's just like, you broke my trust, bro. What can I tell you? You broke my trust. I never meant to break your trust. Guys, this is 2019. You're one of my friends. You're my brother. You're my friend. You're my brother. How can you talk to someone like this after what you've done and then come to the community and act like nothing is wrong, like you have enough money to fund this entire project? This is Bernie Madoff. This guy needs to go to prison. This is Bernie Madoff type stuff. This guy needs a lot of years in prison. A lot of years. $10.16, still October. We're down to the fact 50-50 company, and like I said, I'll be able to raise $60 million in 90 days. Don't worry. I just need your money. I don't know what to do. I have every last penny in the Intrepid account that I could scrounge up. $10.16, $10.21. Oh, on 10.21, there's updates. Jason says anything going on. Because Jason's concerned. He doesn't want the company to go belly up. Yep. Someone in the chat saying crash out Steam after Steam. Yeah, we should have known. Like when they decided to go to Steam, there was another warning. Another warning. So even the company who owns Steam, is it whatever they are? Is it called Valve or something? Even they should be in on a lawsuit because their reputation got hit. The good news. Jeff and Michael, president of CEO of iDream Sky, flew into San Diego to finalize the new agreement with their attorney and ours. We met Saturday afternoon and into the evening, another night, a new agreement. Looks good and the meeting went well. Our advisors started a conversation with funds last week to prepare for the fundraising round. Many interested groups. So apparently, like, the iDream Sky deal is going to come through. The question is, how much? So Steven again is laying it on, the butter, because he needs money. The bad news, I've scrounged up any penny. We need $65,000 today or checks from last week start to bounce. Then we potentially will have some labor board issues. Jason's like, just borrow it from people. Again, he's trying to say, everyone's at my door. Everyone's at my door to give me money, but it takes time. It takes time, and I just need more from you to make payroll. Even though I reneged on the loan, I defaulted on the loan that you gave me. Jet lag, what are you calling me up to leave this morning? Hope you're doing okay. To be 30% owner, I'm fine with it. I love you like a brother. I'm sorry I put us in this spot. I understand your frustration and anger. I'm working my ass off. We aim at a trend valuation, would give 30% or more, including anything else we've done. Sorry, but your screw up is your mistake, not mine. I'm equally valued as you are financially, and the mistake is costing you. All right, 40%. You know, at this point, Steven is like, everything is such a farce that he doesn't care. I'll give you, I'll give you anything. Everything is such a farce. I'll give you whatever ownership you want. I'll give you whatever terms you want. Just give me money so I can make payroll. Again, I think Steven is skimming, probably. And he's taking his salary. Payroll includes himself. You're giving me 30%. I'm not buying stock. I'm not an investor. I'm your partner. We're still late. We're almost November here. For the month of November to catch up on all our bills, we need... What? October 30th. Text from Steven to Jason. For the month of November and to catch up on all our bills, we need $925,000. Jason's like, what? You need this for December, January? December we need 550, January we need 550. October 30th, Jason says, okay, I'll get your $935,000 tomorrow. With the $65,000 I already sent. That's an even $1 million. Then I will get another $1 million within 30 days as soon as my loan closes. Jason, you work in MLM. Have you not figured this out yet? Are you just in too deep? You're going to find out later that after all of this, 2020 and beyond, like I said, guys, there's another story. This is just one story that gets Intrepid to 2020. They pull in other people involved and who Jason knows and took them for even more. Dawson, they took him for $80 million. I went over the bios of these guys. That's why in 2019 this company didn't fold, because they were able to get more of Jason's friends, give much, much more. We only have one story. I don't have the communications between Steven Sharif and Dawson. I don't have those. We don't have those communications. This is just one story that gets Steven and his company like up to 2020. They amplify this with other people. Other MLM people, it's amplified for more millions and more millions and more millions. Jason's like, here's more money. Can you make sure it's wire funds immediately? Jason is all in now. He has no choice. I already converted the crypto funds to $1 million. It gives me room to get my loan closed. And funds as I started the process about 6 weeks ago to close. Awesome. Love you, brother. Based upon our deal, you will be 100,000 short in January, nothing in February. What revenues are coming in from November and December and January? The revenues for November, December, and January would be about 300,000, which should cover the shortfall. You cannot believe anything Steven says at this point. He could be doing a Bernie Madoff, taking one loan from one person to move it into this bucket, move this into this bucket, make payroll, pay off this person, roll this person's money into this thing. Jason's getting the short end of the stick on everything. He still owes Jason $300,000 on a short-term loan. Now we move ahead into January of 2020. Hope you're feeling better. Just don't overdraft the shareholders agreement. The accountant isn't back. They have to Monday long prepare 219 P&L. I need that as soon as possible. I need to see what the losses and debts are of the company, Jason says. And you're needing more money, which I'm trying to get, but don't have pulled together yet. It might be a fragile January. Next week is going to be dicey. We need 75... Oh my God. We need 75,000 bills due on the 7th and another 225 we will need for the next payroll for the 13th. Did the loan on the property go through? Guys, he gave him $1 million and then he's like, I need more money. Jason. He needs even more money now. We're in January of 2020. And he's like, did the loan on the property go through? Steven, this guy is taking loans out. He's selling his Bitcoin, which would be worth much more today. And now he's taking loans out on properties. And you're like, oh, it's no big deal. Give me money. I started an application for SBA business loan with JP Morgan back in November. And it looks like it'll close in January for $2 million. Steven, you have yet to pay back 1 penny to Jason. Him and other people gave short-term loans. You have yet to pay back 1 penny. I can do another 200,000 by Monday. When you get me my 300 back. But I don't have to do the 500. And then Steven says, yikes, that's a problem. We have to survive. We're back kind of a little bit. This is December, before January. We have to survive before the payments come in from iDreamSky. When we do our fundraising, if we hit our valuation of 150 to 200 million, your stake in the company will be valued at 30 to 40 million. Promises. But if we fail a payroll, the insolvency clause comes in. And mail RU contracts would be allowed to terminate for breach. That's bad. We need money. Is there any way you can give me more money? Back to January. Okay, we're January 3rd. We do about 150,000 a month in pre-orders for the MMO. Our pre-launch revenue is licensing dependent. We launch Alpha 1 April of this year. No, it's not. Alpha 1 didn't launch until July of 2021. And he says that'll be a big money maker. No, not till July of 2021. This year we will do about 20 million in revenue after we launch our Alpha 1. That's forecasting. That's a forecast. It's not reality. Alpha 1 didn't launch until July 14th and only ran for a month. Jason says, I was under the impression that the launch in 2020 would do 300 million. Steven's like, oh, we had to delay. It's in development, new schedule. The launch was supposed to be here. Now it's the first quarter of 2021. I had slow hiring, which slowed our timeline. He's going to start blaming COVID, I'm sure. What does it look like for revenue? So to be clear, if you convert the remainder of convertibles, putting your 20%, it'll be worth 300 million in 2021. In 2022, your worth will be 448 million. So he's telling Jason what his worth will be based on nothing. How many other people did he do this with? If it doesn't convert, it'll be worth 220 million. And the delay isn't that bad because we continue to grow our pre-registration numbers. We'll be at 2 million pre-registered in March of this year. Our game will launch with one of the highest pre-registrations of any MMORPGs ever. 2021, the company is going to buy you your own jet. MLM, the company is going to buy you your own jet with your name on it. This is January of 2020. How many pre-registrations will we have when we launch? Steven says 6 million. Now we're just a couple days later. I know your loan process is still going through, but we need 67,500 to survive this week. We went negative $1,500 in our account. Are you able to send 68,000 tomorrow? I'm sorry the strain this has put on both of us, but we need to make it to February. This is after all of this. Early 2020 is still asking for money from him. I wonder if he's doing the same thing with someone else. I need 67,000. I need this 68,000 tomorrow. Jason's already in for millions of dollars. Who else are you doing this with? Who else? And here we go again. I think we will close another investor in the next couple of weeks. Another promise, another lie. My neighbor and his friend are meeting me Wednesday. My neighbor and his friend. You're asking your neighbor to invest money or loan money. And SBA loan and JP Morgan will close before the end of the month, but we can't get any eviction notice or lapse on the employee's health insurance. Can you wire tomorrow the 68,000? He's talking to his neighbor. He's trying to get money from his neighbor now. Can't do it. I'm on fumes. If you know someone that will buy my 2011 Ferrari for $80,000 or my 2010 Rolls Ghost for $75,000, I will sell both. Why would you sell them? To give money to Steven? You know, you can't be this stupid, Jason. You can't be. You cannot be this stupid. Or can you? I have no money for you at the moment. I got the appraisal today, so that's good. Waiting on docs to sign. What, for a loan? A loan?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
Steven's like, okay, I've exhausted everything. I was able to scrounge up another 8,000. So we're short $140K. Maybe should have waited to give Bluff the Bitcoin until the month. Not sure what we're going to do at this point. Jason's like, go ask your mom. Find someone to give you a short-term loan. I need about a week. I will sign my loan docs. Oh, Jason, why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this after everything that's been done to you already? Try that. They don't know people like I do. Payroll is Wednesday. Not sure what's going to happen if we don't make payroll. There's nobody you know with Bitcoin or can give short-term 150,000, 200,000 loan till the loan closes? Till your loan closes? even though I've scammed you and ripped you off and haven't paid back the short-term loan. Is there anyone you know that'll give me another 200,000? No, bro, honestly, you're kind of freaking me out that you're not able to get money at this level. It's reality. I don't want to be in your deal because you have no ability to get any money. I might have just lost 2 million, 5 million, 1 million, 1.8, 300,000. The reality on Jason is setting in. He's too deep. You have broken me. January 2020, this game was able, the facade that Steven put on was able to go another 5 years? 5 years? 6 years? 5 years? You have broken me. This was all done behind the scenes. The game that was fully funded and had no investors, Steven claimed in 2022. He literally is destroying someone who his mom introduced him to. He's destroying him. This, guys, I'm trying to deliver a message here today. I'm not just reading texts. He is literally destroying another person. And I know it's easy not to have sympathy for the other guy because he made his money in MLM. These people will eat their own, except their own mom, apparently. Everything I'm reading makes me... It's like I almost feel like Steven Sharif deserves life in prison for this. Like it's a Bernie Madoff situation almost. You have broken me. Can you add? I gave you 2, then 5, then 1, and 300,000 loan that you didn't pay back. And you keep sending me messages. I need 68,000 to meet payroll. I need 900,000. I need 90 days so I can close all these deals with the big boys. The big boys, the big boys. We got the big boys. There ain't no big boys. Maybe. I see why something is pissed and find someone give you money for Bitcoin. I can go find some Bitcoin tomorrow. Oh, Jason, I'm tired of your deal, to be honest. 10 million so far, and you think I've made of money. No one in your entire life would do what I have done for you. I'm so stressed because of you. See what Steven has to say about this. I have funneled every dime into it. It turns out it's quite possible, Steven, that you didn't even put a dime into this. I can't say for sure, but it's starting to look that way. It isn't that I haven't been able to get money. You told, if I'm not mistaken, during the Arcade days, you told Neckrage that you're a billionaire. You were going to buy him out. Then you told everyone that this MMO is fully funded by you. You've got so much money that no one has to worry. In fact, if you buy any of our packages, if you invest any money as a gamer, if this game doesn't launch, which it did not, going to Steam is not launch. He's going to pay everyone back. So I'm going to get my $500 back. Give me my $500. I want to join a class action on this guy. Just out of principle. I anticipate the final 300,000 to get to the end of January and the first payment from IDS, I Dream Sky. I know how much you've put in. I know you're basically like my god brother. I'm sorry about the other deal. It's screwed. I Dream Sky, is that the deal that's screwed? I wish you and I weren't in such stress right now. Can you imagine what he's telling the community and behind the scenes? He's got his hand out. He's like begging in the streets just to make a little bit of payroll. Jason sends a message to his mother. I don't know if his mother ever responded to Jason. He's pissed. He's trying to tell his mother, you got a bad son. Now I understand why somebody wants to sue you. Do you understand me now? Go cry to your husband. Do you see Jason just keeps going back and forth. I'll get you the money, you're screwing me over. I'll get you the money, you're screwing me over. I'm in no mood to be happy. I'm getting a loan as soon as I can. Oh, and help you, but can't seem to do anything here. It baffles my mind why you're a business owner. I am screwed. I can't see straight. And I asked you to politely go find another source for a week or two. Anyone that watches this video and gets to this point, let this be a lesson. To, if you lose a little bit of money, that happens. Don't ever let yourself get into this position that Jason is in. Don't ever let anyone talk about some investment opportunity to you, especially with money that you cannot afford to lose. Money you can afford to lose is called risk capital. If you don't have risk capital, don't do anything like this. And I would take it a step further. For any younger people or anyone, if you do have risk capital, you're better off, and if you're young, you're better off putting it into an index stock fund in Vanguard or Fidelity and let it sit there for 40 years than doing anything like this. And Jason, how are you able to sleep without taking drugs? Yeah, go. If you have risk capital, go to Vanguard. They have index funds. They have very, very low expense index funds that track even the global stock market, but at least the U.S. stock market. And sit on it for 40 years till you're ready to retire. You'd be better off doing that. And once you do it, don't even look at the stock market. Just don't. Anyone comes to you with an investment opportunity, run. Anyone who used to run an MLM and comes to you with an investment opportunity, get on a speed bike and go even faster. Jason's showing how little money he has. January 14th, 2020. Vanguard is a very good mutual fund company in America, along with Fidelity. Those are my two favorites. January 14th, bro, nothing has changed. I took... Guys, it went from bad to worse. I took $110,000 out of my 401k. If you're under 59 and a half, if you take money out of your 401k, that's not a loan. You have to pay a 10% penalty on that, in addition to the tax hit. Jason. Jason, if I was ever to get into MLM, you're the last person I would want to do business with because you don't know anything about finance. Nothing. He took money from his 401k. Yeah. 401k is a legal number that's assigned to a special government rule that allows people, because you know how it is in countries, when you get old, they don't want you living on the streets. Okay? What country wants their citizens living on the streets? Let's set up systems to where people don't live on the streets in their old age. Out of the Great Depression, we set up Social Security. Okay? Also, while you're working, set up a system that companies set up for you and you share called 401k, where the company kicks in a little bit of money, you kick in some money, and you get to direct where that money goes. It's usually into a stock mutual fund. And all the earnings over the decades that come to that 401k are tax deferred. So you're actually reducing your tax while you're working. You're reducing your taxable income while you're working. You'll pay it back. The taxes, you'll pay back when you're retired, when your earnings are less. 401k is one of the best things between 401ks, Social Security, and other savings you have. Life, as long as you build any kind of career and keep working, you can have a very good retirement. You just need to understand those three simple things. Why would you stick your neck out into investing in someone's business? Okay, he took out $110,000 out of his 401k. That's your retirement plan. Yeah, and that's the other thing, just to clear up misconceptions here whenever I stream. I've been around many years, so here's what happened. We used to have defined pensions back in the old days, and pretty much these days, the pensions are pretty much gone for depending upon where you're working, and it's been replaced by the 401k. Now, lucky for me, I was still working at a time where they still had pensions and 401ks. So I have a pension, a little pension, it's not huge, and 401k, and Social Security, actually. 401k I haven't even touched. You have to start taking distributions when you reach 73 years old, but you don't have to touch it before then. So he gave him money, $110,000, out of his freaking retirement plan. You're a lifesaver, thank you. Will Sager initiate ASAP so it hits before 2 and we can still make 2 p.m. cutoff? God, the stuff. This guy's supposed to be developing a video game. Drumming up money. This is a 24-hour job. He's supposed to be making a video game. No wonder why the game sucks. There's no direction. No direction. The jeweler is going to invest $1.5 million? $2 million? John's mom is going to wire money? We're now short? The jeweler? Yep. That's right. The boomers, the generations that came after the boomers, I'm never going to make fun of you guys. We got the houses for cheaper. We got pensions. We got 401ks. We have so far a solvent Social Security. I will never make fun of younger people struggling. I bought my first house when I was 18. You can't do that today. You just can't do it. Our biggest now we're at January 26th, 2020. We're still years away from the blow up. And we're after these dates of this thing with Jason, Steven continued to bring in tens of millions of dollars from other people, mostly involved in the MLM world. It looks to me like there was never a Tencent. There was never a Google. There was never an Amazon. There was never a Microsoft. There was never an EA. And he took out a loan from a bank, I think. Most of his funding came from the MLM world. And these text messages you're seeing, he is probably replicated amongst several people. He probably spent most of his time scamming money from other people instead of actually building a video game. That's why the game is crap. It's utter garbage. Potential investor, January 26th, our biggest potential investor is the former owners of Raising Cane's Chicken. Their family is flying in for the day to visit the studio and meet with me. They just sold their 100 restaurants for $140 million. I had an hour-long three-way with the family investment team on Thursday. They're excited and asked how much of the $5 million is available still to raise. I think they would be able to come up with $4 to $5 million. They've been texting and emailing all weekend. Yeah, it's good chicken. Did they ever get money from these people? On the spreadsheet, I don't think I saw Raising Cane, but this is a limited spreadsheet that they gave. Very limited. This spreadsheet comes from Jason. These are almost everything you see here are MLM people, except for maybe a bank here and there. My neighbors are considering a $2 million investment. That's right. That's the big one. The big one is Dawson. And I talked about who Dawson is. And again, I want to point out, this is one story. This is a story between Jason and Steven. I am sure there's another story between Steven and Dawson. And another story of text messages like this between Steven and someone else, Karen and other people. And he probably is texting his neighbor, showing the potential payout. He's scamming his own neighbor, guys. If you think it's okay to scam other MLMers, fine. He's scamming his own neighbor. They're going to come visit the studio. He's promising them probably a big payout. 3 people interested on speaking this week want $500K, another $305. Guys, what does this sound like to you? Does this sound like a real company? Does this sound like a real company to you? This guy is spending 24/7 getting money from anyone he can and making promises. Jeweler, I don't know who that is. More money. 1-year convertibles. There's many promising Look, these are promising potentials, but will take some time. It's Jason again. You didn't call me back. We're still only in January. Late January 2020. The real big money, just like Virus said, the real big money comes after all this. The Dawson money. It comes after 2020. I believe that most of the big money comes afterwards. And I don't think he paid 1 penny back of anything to Jason. Jason didn't make 1 penny back. Congrats on getting money in. Thanks, brother. I'm stressed beyond belief. Can't sleep, 3:30. Well, what do you mean congrats on getting the money? If he got the money in, then doesn't he Jason, he owes you money. He owes you a loan, unless that's been converted to equity too. Wake up every morning at 3:30. Not an experience I want to repeat. Jason, I'm so broke. I had to borrow money. First time in my life. Greed? Yeah, I never seen the show. I'm so broke I had to borrow money. Honestly, my dream is us sitting on a plane, flying to some island with the family, looking back and laughing. You know what? That probably is your plan. After you've taken everyone's money, maybe you are on an island right now with your hubby and laughing. This guy can't be in the country. There's no way this guy is in the country. Guys, after what I'm reading here, I don't think you're ever going to see this guy in court. It can't be. It can't be. This guy should be sitting in a jail cell right now, pending prosecution. I bet he has a disguise on. And I wonder if he bought a house in Costa Rica with the money he skimmed and is in Costa Rica right now under a different name. February 2020. Are we current on our tax filings? Do you think Steven Sharif cares about tax filings right now? So I think Jason's lawyer wants financials, real financials. I'm getting pissed. I asked you for the financials. Why aren't you giving me the financials? Could be. I wouldn't be surprised if Steven Sharif has left the country. That's how bad this is. You just need to take the time to really read this stuff. Truly read this stuff. This is just one story, one scam, part of a much bigger scam. Moving to this new accounting firm is all messed up. I can't give you the financials. We moved to a new accounting firm. Excuse after excuse after excuse. Give me a call when you can. I'm in a meeting right now prepping for a visit today from Improbable. Do you have an in-house person that does company's internal QuickBooks? I'm currently texting on a call with iDream Software about what's going on. So far, they said they will be delayed by 60 days because of the coronavirus. Steven, Jason just asked you about the financials, the QuickBooks. You changed the subject. And now you're saying iDream Sky is falling apart again because of coronavirus. Jason says, I do business in China. It's a bunch of bullcrap. You can do business in China. Uh-oh, Steven got caught in another lie, basically. And remember, Steven Sharif still owns $300,000 on that short-term loan to Jason. I want my $300,000, even though I've given you millions. As far as the business goes, your dreams and goals, regardless of mine, don't need to start thinking about cutting staff at this point. So he's trying to tell him how to run his company now. Like it really matters to Steven. I couldn't afford 300 when I did. And then you took another $1 million. It's to a point where you gave me your word. Jason, you worked in MLM. All you do is give people your word in MLM. You should know better, Jason. You should know better. Please wire the money owed in the email tomorrow. Hello, hello, hello. You didn't respond to me. Finally. Hey, bro, I'm sorry. We had to send the team home today since they closed the schools. And I got sick too. So I'm just now getting home. So no QuickBooks, no financials, no payment. And then he's going to give him a sob story. We have 690,000. That's 7 weeks. 7 weeks of payments. I cannot send you this. The money I promised to pay you back is a short-term loan with interest. A couple years ago now. Even though, hey, I gave you millions, but I gave you a loan. I want that money. It's a short-term loan. Can't do it, buddy. I can't do it. I need you to give me time to close one of the other investors. Ongoing theme. I'm working on it, bro. Please don't burn down our company out of principle just because of $330,000. We have so much riding on the success of Intrepid. Not just the investment, the returns we will see when we launch the game. Please give me the next several weeks to close another investor. And I'll get you the 330, brother. It never happened. Right? Did it ever did Jason ever get his 330 back? Jason's pissed. My patience is done. I should have never given you the $2 million. I'm not going to burn down your company, but I'm just done with you. Get the proper financials, P&Ls. You have 2 weeks to comply with getting me my money you owe me. It's just going on back and forth. The months just keep going by. You're valued as my friend and partner. I'm sorry we got in a bad spot. We're still more than a year away from Alpha 1, by the way. All I want us to be both billionaires from this giant effing project we have in our laps. And I'm not trying to make you upset. I'm sorry it has taken this long. Jason's finally wising up again. I have no faith in you, no trust. Bank statements, you took my money. I can't have access to your records, your books. You're manipulating whatever you want to manipulate without turning them over. I'm going to start legal maneuvers. At the end of the day, you won't have a company. Well, you know what? It took another 5 years or so for them finally to not have a company. Now I have to wait because you can't give me access to your records. It's not up to date. This is a joke. I did you a favor. My money is the thing that floated you. And this BS, you can't simply send an email to the accountant to turn things over. I don't care about being a billionaire. I just want a partner that is reliable. Now you want a partner that's reliable. You will get legal letters on Monday. Good luck. You had your chance to keep your word. Now your word means nothing. And here's Jason's stake so far. This is terrible. 10 million. Just from Jason. At this point. Bro, I will give you everything you asked for. Bank statements, QuickBooks, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I was just asking to wait a couple more weeks. Because I'm trying to get your money. And I don't want this accountant focusing on this project instead of that. And I also haven't even gone through them because I'm working 18 hours a day. I asked politely on Monday last week, and you say you can get me these things. It didn't need to be perfect. I just need these documents. You act like you have no obligations to me. After I came up with $300,000 and said I needed it back desperately. And I also pulled money out from my 401k to pay you. Part of the $2 million I took. To pay you, then I took out this guy, because he was threatening litigation. See, there are more people involved. I've protected you. Okay. Now we're at July of 2020. Good news. We got approval for a loan for $22 million from the bank. But I just got off a call with them, and they said if everything goes all right, we can expect a funding date of August 24th. So Jason is excited. Jason, I would think, Jason, you would have learned your lesson by now. You should have learned your lesson. Until that money is back to you and in your bank, it doesn't exist. So Steven says he's getting a $22 million loan. We'll find out later. No, you're not. Commerce. 922. No word from the bank? No, just normal process. Nothing significant yet. We go up to October. What I sent Rob Dawson this morning. That's the guy that's going to sink the most money in. So we're almost into 2021 now. Anyway, when you want to have a deeper delve in serious mode, we can, taking over 50% of the remaining preferred, blah, 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 this accounting stuff. Invest another $5 million, your $5 million convertible, $6 million preferred note. You have a board seat. So nothing else. Nothing else until a month later. Steven comes back with bad news. We got hit on the loan. The reserve kicked in back to the loan and cut the amount in half. They're doing a quick write of the new amount. 13.4 million got disqualified because it was far above gross revenue. So the big loan from the bank is being cut and cut and cut. It looks like the final approval for the bank loan will be about $6 million. This sucks, bro. I want to be fair to you, not hurt the company, but you're not being authentic and transparent and allowing me to make this company work. If you don't allow me to help with the company's financial status, well, he can't have you help with the financial status because he's scamming you and he's scamming other people and anyone else he can scam. I wonder if he took money from his neighbor. I want to help you with the company, build a company. Steven's response is, I'm trying to get this loan the best way I know how. That's his response. The problem, you keep on doing the same thing, hoping this happens. So what are you going to do with the $6 million? If he gets $6 million, what are you going to do? It's not even close to the debts owed. And when I bring investors into or around this deal, people will want to see all the cleaned up documents. I'm trying to make this successful deal and raise money. But you're being short-sighted. You're not allowing this because you keep on hoping this loan for the last 5 months would appear. You're just hurting yourself and the company by not allowing me into things. Jason, he can't have you into things because then you'll find out what a charade everything is. He can't let you in. He can't let you in. This is the best I can do for Zoom. Just click on it. Response. I am 100% open to helping in every area with transparency. All I'm saying is let me get the $6 million deal done so I can get the $2 million back to you this month. And then I'm even okay with you taking over the bookkeeping if you want. No. It's not my area of strength, he says. He's stringing him along. I'm going to get the loan. I'm going to pay back your $2 million. I'll give you the books. But see, he's not going to give him the books today. Not today. I got to do this first and this first and this first. You're not being transparent at all. I don't like raising my voice or yelling, but I'm tired of chasing things. I'm in for $10.3 million. Hard money out of my pocket. Not even you has this much to lose. And the reality is, I have another investor worth $300 million. He wants to come and sit down with me. And I want to close a deal so we secure through 2022 launch date. But he needs more and doesn't need any more money. Getting bank documents and books and records is my legal right. I think his other investor is Dawson, the guy worth $300 million. It's starting to piss me off that I can't have access. I'm trying to get you money. Steven can't do it. He can't do it. Steven's response, did you get the video? I want you to know I'm sorry and appreciate you and I'll perform with Intrepid in the game and beyond and make you filthy rich. No, you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. You can trust me to do that and keep your interest at heart. I'll make it up to you, brother. He just said, I need to see your books. I have someone worth $300 million that might be interested. Steven cannot let you see his books. Even though there's another investor out there. My goal is to make you guys fat and happy. I owe you so much. So here comes more butter. Steven sending messages again to Jason about like a Forbes article regarding Ashes of Creation, #1 upcoming MMO by Forbes. Jason wants your books. He has another investor that wants to look. Why won't you show it? Why won't you show them? Why won't you show them? And you just come back with this kind of crap. There are no books. I have a smaller version, QA build, schedule roadmap with my production team, trying to get a handle on it. It's blocking some of the team. Can you move our call to Thursday? Depending on what happens with taxes given the situation, you want me to migrate the company since everyone is virtual. We're looking at Texas with tax incentive. Oh, should you move the company? Move the company. We're looking at Texas with tax incentives. Moving the company based to Puerto Rico, being there. We will need to strategize. You are now running your company virtually 98% at this point. Do you see this needing to change? I want to be able to take in crypto as payment. We can currently accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is your guess amount of new projects? New projects? Given this project will cost $35 million. We can currently accept Bitcoin, Ethereum. And Steve has given some estimates on new projects because remember, he wants to build a dynasty. Twitch streamers who bagged in on AOC are now streaming Quinfall. So now he's giving estimates of other games. But this is all bullcrap. This is all bullcrap. Just to string Jason along. Ashes of Creation released last week. This was Alpha 1. 4K Alpha 1 preview. Boss fight footage. It's just boss fight footage. It's not Alpha 1. 150,000 views so far. With a 99% like rate. Who cares? But he just wants Jason to see it. I watched the whole thing, very cool. great job. That's, you know what? That's it. Jesus Christ, I didn't know this was going to take 3.5 hours. Here's the guy on YouTube that most of this content comes from. Well, actually, that's not it. I did paste a couple things from Reddit. Someone here seemed like they had a lot of information. Steven hired a lot of veteran MMOs from older MMOs and became friends with them. Game development is a different beast now. This guy's claiming he hired veteran MMO developers that don't actually know how to make current games. Steven took $600,000 per year for his own salary. That's what this guy claims. Steven was doing fake it till you make it. Yep, that's right. Banking on his high developer count. Crusty MMO veteran friends to complete a good game in time. It never succeeded. Too many employees. Self-funded. These are claims. No greedy corporate overlords to answer to. Those were all lies. Between texts with Steven and Jason, Steven made untrue statements to mislead Jason. We saw that. Steven put Jason in a position of sunk cost. Okay? Yeah, I want my money back too. Steven hid the financials from I'm in on this. I'm in too deep, guys. Steven hid financials from investors. That's right. That's the big theme of today. Jason kept wanting to get in on those books and he never did. Likely because he took investments and loans, passing those funds to his personal bank account in some proportion, embezzlement. Because Steven filed all loans, investments as income to the federal and state governments. That's textbook tax income fraud. Steven likely also distributed revenues into his personal accounts. If he ever did this while Jason owned more than 50% of the company, that's embezzlement. Steven used said balance sheets to take loans against the company and raise capital. Fraud. Steven shuffled personal assets around LLCs to wittingly avoid asset forfeiture, which is illegal. This guy was responding to someone who was trying to protect. Okay, here are some screenshots from another YouTuber. His YouTube channel is called Legal Mindset. So I clipped these today. He did a 14-minute video this morning. Investor fraud lawsuits. TFE lawsuit in Nevada by Robert Dawson. Robert Dawson. We don't know his story yet. We just know he put in like $90 million. Robert Dawson against Sharif and John Moore. That's his spouse. Claim embezzlement. Commingling of funds, fraud, and breach of fiduciary duty. Claims Sharif withdrew $10 million unaccounted for, paying his husband a salary without work performed, using company funds for a California mansion, using loans as revenue to secure larger loans. Sabotaging upon resignation. Foreclosed on Intrepid, seizing all assets. Investor fraud lawsuits. Yaya Legacy lawsuit by Jason against Sharif. Yaya Legacy shows up as an investor, but it's basically Jason or friends. Accuses Sharif of $140 million fraud scheme. Falsifying self-funding, 0 personal investment per QuickBooks, failing to report monthly losses, no board meetings in 9 years, use Steam revenue for personal gain, bankrupted the Intrepid Studios and rejected restructuring, lawsuit impending. The guy also showed a picture of some of the things you could buy into early on. I think this is non-Kickstarter stuff. You could just buy in. So you look at the $500 one. This is very blurry, though. but just to give you a representation of some of the stuff they were selling. Kickstarter claims under California law, piercing the corporate veil against Steven Sharif is highly likely to succeed. Strong evidence for fraudulent inducement and misrepresentation. Breach of contract, Kickstarter TOS, campaign promise, enforceable. Obligation to launch or refund. Early access is not launched per expectations, especially after a 9-year delay. Backers gave $3.27 million, which Sharif misused. Backers should document the pledges and join in a class action. Judgment. Very high likelihood of piercing the corporate veil against Steven, possibly others. Possible claims for fraudulent inducement, breach of implied contract, unjust enrichment. Courts need to offer a remedy for backers, crowdfunders, to prevent future scams. Backers otherwise treated as expendable. Do you guys realize how big this is? This is not just some shiesty dev. You know, you guys have seen games fail in the past. And you're all like, we knew it wouldn't last. New World failed. This is not like that. This is Bernie Madoff. This is Bernie. He kept the scam going for almost 10 years. No, he did keep it going for 10 years. This is Bernie Madoff. I don't know if Steven realizes how much in trouble he truly is. I don't think he realizes that. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he has left the country. At all. It's almost pre-planned, yeah. And remember, I went over this in 2018. He tried to make the game a referral program. And he took suckers like Lazy Peon. Because content creators like Lazy Peon are always looking for their next word. Give me money and I'll do anything. Give me money and I'll do anything. So he made this amazing video on the promise of ashes with a referral code at the bottom. Many years ago. And it's not just Lazy Peon. There's a lot of content creators that are just they're for hire. I'll love your game long time. You give me enough money. And they have enough simps that follow them and watch them to where they can get away with it. We are not governed by greedy corporate overloads. This is 2022. I'm funding the project. No investors. A complete Bernie Madoff level scam. He scammed people. He scammed gamers. He scammed platforms like Steam. He scammed Kickstarter. He scammed a bunch of business owners with promises. Where in here did you see where he ever paid back the piddly $300,000 loan to Jason? Jason put in almost $10 million. He just wanted his $300,000 back. A loan, a short-term loan. He wouldn't even pay him back that. Not even that. Yeah, and it's like a pyramid scheme because you get enough. It doesn't hurt. The money I put in didn't hurt me. But you get enough people to do it. What a disaster. This is going to be my final video and stream for Ashes of Creation. I put it all on the line today to go over all this. And while I was reading it is when I realized how bad this really is. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was this bad. Reading it for myself and what he did to Jason and what he probably did to other people, because we're only seeing one story. How many years did Bernie Madoff get for his scam? He ruined so many lives. This guy needs minimum 15 years for this. And then whoever else is involved. California, the state of California, there's a lawyer's got to look at this and see how many laws this guy has broken. These lawsuits, monetary judgments might not hurt him if his money is overseas somewhere in gold coins or something. Physical, maybe he bought physical gold and it's sitting underground somewhere. There's no tracking. I don't think he cares about that. I think the FBI needs to get involved. Yeah, we're at 3 hours and 47 minutes. I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what else to say. At least there's lawsuits have started. And Bob Lawson is his name? He's like Robert Lawson. At least $60 million. Where on this list is Microsoft? Where's Tencent? Where's Google? Where's Amazon? All those companies he promised he was doing deals with to get financing. He said to Jason, I got 20 people coming from Microsoft next week. I'm almost positive they're going to buy my company. They want to buy the company. All lies. No, Lazy P ain't going to say nothing. I don't know if that video is still out there. He's doing what a lot of content creators do. I'm not saying Lazy Peon deserves to be prosecuted or anything like that. Steven even went after Asmongold during the Alpha 1 to play the game so everyone could see it. The IRS, he took in loans and claimed they were income so that he could take out more loans. I don't know anything about pirate software, but I know that he was a glazer possibly at one point. I'm not sure. This is the most disgusting junkie. I didn't know it was going to have this emotional reaction today. This is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And to be able to just stand in public like this and act like everything is going okay. This is just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. This guy needs to serve hard time and lose everything. I want to see him in handcuffs for this. I really do. These are all alleged crimes, by the way. So I have to keep saying that. This is all alleged. I was banned from his Discord last week, so. And he knows who I am. Because he was in my stream when I streamed Alpha 1. It turns out Alpha 1 was better than anything they did afterwards. That's how bad things got. He spent all his time getting money from people. He didn't have time to develop the game. Robert Dawson, $60 million frickin' dollars at least. This is not the grand total. It's more than 99 million. Well, he had no choice but to sabotage the company because the House of Cards was falling down. He needed an excuse to get out, Nachi. He found an excuse. They want to come in and take over. My excuse to resign is to blame them. Steven needed a way to get out, and he found a way to get out. Blame the board. He wasn't working on this game. He was working on continuing to try to bring money in from his neighbors, from MLM people. No other company would give him a freaking dime. This guy needs to be in cuffs if all this is true. Yep. I made a video in 2018 about this freaking pyramid scheme. And I told you at the beginning of today's stream, I told you who Robert Dawson is. He made his money in MLM. And I think Jason is the one that introduced him. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to take the stream and I'm going to upload it to YouTube as is. I'll put chapters in the YouTube just at least to get by, like the stream starting soon and stuff like that. So if you're on YouTube and you're willing to watch a Twitch format stream with a lot of pauses, I think you can get something out of this. If you're willing to just be patient and watch me read and analyze this one story. It's just one story. There are more stories that we don't know about. Yeah, Asmongold, the content creators, they don't know what's going on. They're like, okay, you want me to play your game? I'll play your game. I'm not going to blame Lazy Peon. He's doing what he's got to do. He wants to make money. This is just one story. There's more stories. The only way I'll make another video or do another stream on Ashes is if there's another huge bombshell that comes out. But I want to make sure you guys understand that I got to give the most credit to the guy that came out with the YouTube video. This guy here. This is his YouTube channel. If you want to go watch his coverage of this, I watched it 4 times. Okay, I'm going to upload this to YouTube. Thank you guys for coming to Twitch stream today. I don't know what my future is. We will see. Next game on the docket for me is frickin' Crimson Desert. I got a bad feeling about Crimson Desert. I got a very bad feeling that game's going to be frickin' boring. I think Crimson Desert might be very boring, but we'll see. I already bought it. Time to do Wolson, guys. Thanks for coming in today, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great whatever. It's raining like hell over here. China's involved. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.